by Granger, by Progressive Insurance, by Kohl's, and by NCAA.com. Hey, folks, how are you? Happy to have you with us in our Westwood One studios here in L.A. to start the 87th NCAA tournament, which begins tonight in Dayton. We will finish up with the 9th ever Final Four in Indianapolis. And my friend Nick Baugh will be with me in studio from here until the end as we check the schedule of games coming up, sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal where you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. Straight Talk Wireless on Verizon's 5G network. Find it exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com. We tip things off in about 7 minutes. Howard gets going against UMBC. The winner moves on to take on Michigan. Meanwhile, it is NC State and Texas later on tonight as a pair of 11 seeds with the right to move on and take on BYU in Portland on Thursday. We'll get to both of those throughout the night, but Nick Baugh, it is such a pleasure to have you back for year number 2. This is the greatest thing we love every time. Game 1 of 67, and we got a lot of great themes going into this tournament.
100%. Last year we had all chalk, all 4 number 1 seeds advancing to San Antonio. You have 4 number 1 seeds this year that have been dominant, but something tells me that I don't think we're going to see a repeat of what we saw last year. And what's interesting to me, Jason, it's been the year of the freshmen, right? That's been the main thing that's been the through line throughout the year, but oftentimes March is about upperclassmen. We'll see if teams like Duke and Houston and Arizona and Kansas and Arkansas and BYU, who are led by freshmen, can they carry over their dominant regular season into the postseason?
Yeah, Florida last year won a national championship, and they had upperclassmen lead the way, particularly in the backcourt. All right, we'll get to all of that throughout tonight. And, of course, first full day, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern with the tournament today. And the first game will tip off just after noon Eastern. Tonight, it is Howard and UMBC. Howard's third tournament in 4 years, coming out of the MEAC. They are looking for their first ever win. And then UMBC historic, right? 2018, the first ever 16 seed to knock off a 1. And to this day, they are still just one of 2 to do that. What are you looking for tonight?
Well, for me, we'll go what's really exciting. Free throws and fouls.
Yep, really exciting.
Really exciting.
I can tell you played at Creighton and Kansas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, UMBC is second nationally in fewest fouls per game. Howard, extremely reliant on getting to the free throw line. They score almost 19 points per game at the free throw line. That's 20th most in the country. Something's got to give there. Also, Howard, crazy pressure team. Get ready to watch a bunch of different full court presses and traps. Can UMBC handle the ball?
We will see what happens. The opening tip in just a few minutes. We'll get you to Dayton on the other side from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
As you go about your daily life, look closer. As you gather with family and friends, look closer. Right in your community, there are youth who don't have the home, warmth, and healing you have. So, look closer. Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Tonight, 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed. And tomorrow, they will wake up surrounded by love. Every youth who walks into Covenant House gets clean clothes, hot meals, medical care, and a safe place to sleep 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in sites across America to help them fulfill the great promise of their lives. So, look closer at Covenant House and help us fight youth homelessness. To help or get help, go to covenanthouse.org.
When I grow up, what should I be? A chef? A sprinkle of this, a dash of that. I'd probably eat more than I'd cook. I could be a ballet dancer. I'm not exactly graceful. I've got 2 left feet. Literally. Or what about an astronaut? Wow. Tempting, but a little far from home. Maybe I'm meant to help in a different way. Or maybe I'm destined to give someone hope.
At Dogs Inc., our puppies grow up to change lives as guide dogs, service dogs, and skilled companion dogs, trained with love, provided at no cost, and made possible through hope.
Now that's a perfect fit.
Learn more at dogsinc.org.
Jason Horowitz back with you in our LA studios. It is time to tip off the 2026 NCAA tournament inside University of Dayton Arena as we check in with the guys about to call it, sponsored by Five Guys. Nervous about your tournament picks? Don't sweat it. Five Guys has consolation fries no matter the outcome. Hand-cut, perfectly salted. They'll make you a winner again. It's time to tip this thing off. Let's go to Dayton. Danny Reed, King McClure. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, boys. Two schools separated by just 34 miles convene in the center of the college basketball universe for a shot to play Michigan in Buffalo on Thursday. Time for the keys to the game, sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. Now taxes can be done by a trusted expert who takes care of everything. Now this is taxes. All right, King, let's start with UMBC.
For UMBC, it's simple. Take care of the basketball. This Howard team is a pressure, up-tempo type of squad. They are a top 10 in the country in turnover percentage defense. So you have to take care of the basketball, but not just with turnovers, but take quality shots. They'll try to speed you up, and if you take a bad shot, it's just as bad as a turnover. And number two, you have to knock down your open threes. UMBC shoots 36% from behind the arc. So when you get those open looks that Howard will give you, you have to knock them down.
Let's check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. First for the Retrievers at guard, Ace Valentine, Jalakai King, first-team All-America East. Josh Adunawo is a member of the All-Defensive Team. DJ Armstrong had 33 in the title game victory over Vermont, most in an AEC title game in 10 years. Jose Tanchin is the 5. They are 14-2 since he went into the starting lineup. They've won their last 12 games. Second longest active winning streak in the country, behind only High Point. For Howard, Cam Gillis, Alex Codd, Osia Koje are the front court, and then you've got Cedric Taylor, Bryce Harris. Both average better than 17 and 6. Howard is the only team in all of Division I with two guys that average at least that. Harris is the MEAC Player of the Year. Taylor is the Newcomer of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year.
And for Howard, they have to force turnovers. I mean, in the half court, they're decent, but when they're able to get steals and get out in transition, that's when they're playing their best brand of basketball. As long as they do not fall in love with the three in the half court, get those steals, get out in transition. And I think that's when they're at their best.
These teams have met 7 times previously. UMBC a 5-2 advantage. They also met November of 2024. That was a convincing victory for the Retrievers, 95-77. But in that game for Howard, Okoje suffered his second concussion of the season, didn't play again that year. Bryce Harris broke his foot that game, missed the rest of the season. We talked with them just yesterday about what that experience could mean as far as being full circle and a chance to give Howard its first ever NCAA tournament win. And they both just kind of looked at us and said, yeah, we've been waiting on this one.
It's personal for those two. And we talked to them and sat down with them. You could just tell the seriousness in their eyes. I mean, they're locked in and they are extremely confident. They're ready for this moment.
Time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. UMBC, the designated home team of the all-whites with black letters and numbers trimmed in gold. Same along the uniform short. Howard in the all-black. Bison across the chest in red. Numbers and letters in silver with that dark trim. As we do it one more time in Dayton, Ohio, the road to Indianapolis starts here. The 2026 NCAA men's basketball tournament is underway. That ball glances out of bounds in the backcourt. And UMBC will have possession just 5 seconds in from UD Arena. They'll go left to right as you listen, King. And Howard comes right out in this trap. It'll be in the full court. It'll be in the half court. They force 15 turnovers a game. UMBC only gives it away 9 times a game. That's an important key, especially at the outset. King drives baseline, and just 10 seconds into the possession, a foul whistle on the Bison, low post right.
And that's a good sign right there for UMBC. When you look at King and what he did in the championship game of the tournament, he did not score. He went 0 for 8, put up a donut. But to see him try to attack early on, try to get to the rim and end up at the free throw line, great sign for UMBC.
King's first free throw after the foul went on Cotton. That went in and out. And for Jalakai King, 83% for the year, 4th best in the America East. He only missed 20 free throws all season. He gets a reprieve. See if he can get the Retrievers on the board. Dribbles, eyes, spin, shoots. That goes. It's 1-0 Retrievers. Now Howard right to left as Harris inbounds to Okoje. Member of the all-defensive team, but he's been in double figures each of the last 7 games. Okoje dribble handoff downhill, spins from baseline back to center, throws it up from 3. Grace's front iron, rebound for DJ Armstrong of UMBC. Left to right with Ace Valentine, 73 career starts, all for Jim Ferry in Catonsville, Maryland. Really extending this defense for the Bison, keeping it on the perimeter. Kind of feeds into UMBC's hands, though. They're a 5-out system. Skip right corner. This is Valentine. Pumps up 3. From the wing, it goes. 4-0 for the Retrievers.
And he's only 9% from 3 in the last 2 games, so that's a big-time shot right there by Valentine.
12-4-4 on the year. He is 3rd in the conference in assists. That's a pure look from the right wing. Just about 60 seconds in. It's a 4-0 UMBC lead. Howard basketball with their point guard Gillis, the steady hand in what could be an earthquake of an environment here in Dayton. Shot timer shows 8. Right wing from Cotton finds Gillis. Baseline drive. Cut off underneath from O'Donoghue. There's the whistle with 4 to shoot at 18:47. And it's a UMBC foul.
This Howard team, they shoot 35% from 3, but when you have guys like Taylor and Bryce Harris, you have to know that those guys are drivers. So what does that mean? That means they have to see bodies. You have to get in the help side and not allow them to be able to have clear lanes, especially when Taylor and Harris have the basketball. Because when they're putting pressure on you getting to the rim, that's when they become extremely hard to guard.
Foul was called on the 5-man Jose Tanchin, his first, as Taylor shoots the first of 2. 4-1. Taylor, 17.7 boards, 5th in the league in block shots. We mentioned Defensive Player of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, First Team All-League, along with Bryce Harris. 80% at the line. Played last year at Division II Morehouse. Bends and shoots. 2 of 2. It's 4-2. UMBC to inbound. Point guard Valentine into Armstrong off of 33 points and 7 threes in that victory over Vermont. King saw pressure up ahead, finds O'Donoghue, a block from behind, and we've got a wedgie just 121 in here in Dayton. That's the jump ball. Arrow goes the other direction. It's Howard possession.
And that's a good pass right there by King. Wide open underneath the rim. You just have to finish those plays. You have to walk away with 2 points when you break the pressure of this Howard team.
That was Alex Cotton that really didn't block it. O'Donoghue kind of wedged himself on the left side of the iron against the glass. Now the Bison in the front court at center. Cotton looks down low. Harris open briefly, couldn't find him. Allows Taylor to penetrate. Skips through 2. Left side, right hand, glass in. We're tied at 4.
That's when Taylor's at his best. Driving closeouts, getting to the rim.
17 points per game. He has all 4 for the Bison. 4-0 start for UMBC. Now we're square at 18-12 from UD Arena. Ball glances into the Bison bench as Armstrong was looking to thread it through 2. UMBC to get it back in bounds.
This Howard defense is like a 2-3 that's extended. And not really necessarily trying to get steals, but they are trying to speed you up and make you a little uncomfortable.
Tanchin to Armstrong, left alone 3. Left wing 2 strong. Tanchin inside. Bison had 4 in the lane, and it's a one-handed board for Cotton. 2 minutes in, tied at 4. The attack for Gillis pulls up free throw line while he straddles inside the keyhole. Far sideline pass, foul line extended to Cotton. Right back to Harris, now corner. Okoje thunders his way into Armstrong. Off bounds, tossed it up and in. And goes double flex at the free throw line. Does a chest bump with Taylor. The and one for Okoje gives the Bison their first lead at 6-4.
And Howard's doing a tremendous job of driving closeouts. And if you're UMBC, when you close out to some of these guys like Okoje, like to Taylor, you have to make sure that you're thinking they're driving first, shooting second, which means you have to give them a little bit of space because they are tremendous at seeking out the contact and finishing through like we just saw.
And one free throw for Okoje, up and in. That's a tough foul on Josh O'Donoghue. He barely touched him after the pump fake. It's 7-4 Howard. They've scored the last 7, and now they press. Inbound finds Armstrong, though Okoje nearly stripped it. Now up for King. Goes around Tanchin and almost turns into a double team mid-post right. Now King looks up front, reverse turn. He finds Valentine. He hit a 3 from near that spot earlier, but allows the offense to recalibrate at 17:35, halfway through the timer. Retrievers down by 3. Tanchin goes back down. Skip to the left corner for Armstrong. Open, turns it down, now drives against Taylor. Right corner. Eye up 3. Way too long. It barely touches iron. Off the right hand of Caden Diggs, the 6th man of the year, the ODU transfer. Ball in the hands of Gillis for the Howard Bison. Clock at 17-15. Howard a 7-4 lead, looking for their first ever victory in the NCAA tournament. 3rd time in 4 years they've been here under Kenny Blakeney. Taylor straddles that left wing, faces up, goes one-on-one against Armstrong. Into the lane, Circus shot, he scores. That's a 9-0 run for the Bison. They lead by a nickel.
They're living in the lane right now. If you're UMBC, your help defense better improve.
Taylor already with 6, Okoje the other 3. Armstrong thought about answering, but a hedge out from Okoje. Now Jalakai King's 3. Glass rim not quite right wing. Okoje rebounds, and the Bison want to push tempo, but UMBC back and fine transition defense. Gillis, eyes, spins, stops in the keyhole. Now to the left wing for Harris. Shows basketball. He has strength on Tangent. Inside, missed the layup, then a one-handed board for Tangent. It allows UMBC to go left to right. Retrievers 1 of 4 from distance. They missed their last 3. That was the triple that was made by Valentine as we come up on the first media. Speaking of Valentine, thunders his way inside. Way too hard off glass. Ball glances out to the free throw line, and Gillis takes 3-on-3 the other way. Centering pass not turned into, so it goes to the baseline for Bryce Harris. 6'4", 225, but he plays the 4. Thinks he can get every rebound on the court. They'll jab the gaps. Kick out. Gillis 3. High rise triple front rim shy. Rebound goes to Armstrong from UMBC, his second already. Winner gets Michigan Thursday in Buffalo. We'll get a media on the next whistle. UMBC the first 4. Howard the last 9. King the penetration goes up and off the box. It goes through. King makes it 9-6.
They're going to need him to be huge. I mean, his ability to be able to get to the rim and shoot that floater right there, they need that.
UMBC just 2 of 7 from the field. Their first points in 3.5 minutes. 1-4-7 for the Bison. There's the cut through. UCLA cut. For Taylor, draws a double team now to Cotton. He can hit that 3. Doesn't get his 70th from the left wing. Weak side rebound finds Caden Diggs. Now it's UMBC with King. Eyes his defender, tries to cross up Gillis. Once, twice. Now to Diggs. Not much of a three-point shooter. Keeps that ball moving. You know that the Howard Bison want to trap. If he gets close to the sideline, they try to do so there. Ball just bounces for somebody. Valentine picks it up with 12 to shoot. From half court to wing, into the lane. Lefty off glass, it finds the net. 4 in a row again for UMBC. We're there within 1.
And they've gotten to the rim. Good things have taken place. They need more attacks, just like what we just saw.
Howard, most victories since 1987. UMBC with a win will tie its school record. They had 25 victories in 18 when they beat number 1 Virginia. Inside Gillis, 12 to shoot. Layup, he scores. Twisted his way through 2. The last line of defense was Jalakai King. But for Howard, it's an 11-8 lead. They have hit 4 of 8, 3 of 3 at the line. Armstrong fought from 28, now 24 instead. Splashes in the 3 from just a step beyond the key. We are 11-11 on the first triple of the game from UMBC's DJ Armstrong.
DJ Armstrong is a tough shot maker. You always have to know where he is.
He hit 7 of those in the AEC title victory over Vermont. 14-17 and turning first half in Dayton. Midwest region battle as Harris dribbles left. A long time to hand off to Gillis. Started right, turns back left on that left pivot foot to Harris. He can uncork a 3. He hits from just short of the corner. Tangent tried to close out. He baited him into it. Harris took it anyway, and it's 14-11 Bison. As UMBC breaks pressure, but Diggs can't handle the four-court pass far sideline, and will take the break at 13:59. There's a timeout of the court sponsored by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, and motorcycle. RV or boat, visit Progressive.com. The score, Howard 14, UMBC 11. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
How can we help each other and the planet during these historic, uncertain times? Did you know that there are millions of farmers in developing nations using harmful practices that not only make it hard for them to make ends meet, but also hurt the environment? The good news is there's a solution. For more than 30 years, nonprofit Trees for the Future has planted over 180 million trees and helped tens of thousands of farmers achieve independence and stability so that they're able to weather any storm. Trees for the Future trains farmers to rethink farming and use trees to flatten the curve on environmental harm while improving their nutrition and income. Let's come together to build a better future for communities in need and the planet. Learn more at trees.org/radio. That's TREES.org/radio. This message is sponsored by Trees for the Future.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
Later on, we'll select the Smart Coaching Move today, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Both these teams lead their respective leagues in offense. King, we're seeing that so far. Howard out to a 14-11 lead. They are 5 of 9. They made all 3 of their free throws. The boards are even. UMBC 4 of 9. They've hit 2 threes, 1 each from Valentine and Armstrong. But 6 minutes, 1 second in, how does this feeling process evening out?
Well, I feel like this pace is definitely in favor of Howard. And when you look at what Howard's doing on the offensive side, they're able to live in the lane right there with 8 points already in the paint. And then on the defensive side, they are making UMBC take the shots that they want them to take. They're baiting them into it. But we saw King, we saw Valentine be able to get into the lane and finish. When they are under control and they take good shots in the paint, I think that's when UMBC will have success.
Subs in for UMBC, Cougar Downing, 6'2", 60-year senior transfer from Eastern New Mexico. Riley Jacobs, 6'9", freshman, was the starting 5-man before Tanchen replaced him 16 games ago. UMBC 14-2 in those games. Bison basketball, low post right, nearly knocked out of bounds. Robbins keeps it in for the Bison, just 7 to shoot. Point guard Gillis looks at King back at him. He has the height advantage, left wing. 3, hoisted up with 2 to shoot. Up and down for Travell Bryson, 6'5", sophomore, just his 16th made 3 all year. Bison 17-11 lead.
That's a good decision right there by Gillis. Off the pick and roll, locating where the backside tag is and delivering the ball on time, on target.
A long possession, but it works out for the Bison as King throws it our way, and we don't play anymore. At least King does it. 13-13 first half. Goes back to UMBC after the second retriever turnover.
And that's a perfect example of how Howard speeds you up. They forced them into that turnover because UMBC played a little bit faster than what they are accustomed to playing.
Both teams on extended winning streaks. UMBC 12 in a row. Howard has won its last 8. Taylor has 6 to lead all scorers. Started free throw line, retreats to between the rings. So Koje comes in and takes the handoff, goes around Valentine after the screen, and then the roll goes down low for Robbins, but no catch. It stays corner with 8 to shoot. Taylor against 2, fall away 18. That guide hand left the basketball as it ended up short off iron. Rebound to Valentine of UMBC. Eyes up the entire way to King. Quick pass to the corner to Caden Diggs. Now back up between the rings to King. On the bounce left corner to find Valentine at 12:35. UMBC down by 6. Diggs wants another 3. That one's off front iron. Almost fell out of bounds into the Bison bench. Rebound underneath to Bryson as Gillis angles and crochets his dribble from near side across the logo in front of the UMBC bench. Head coach Jim Ferry holds those hands. Now to Koje. Baseline, rises, glass. That time he scores and lets out a primal scream to the crowd across the way. It is 19-11. The lead is 8 for Howard.
He's confident. Double digits in his last 7 games. The way that he's looking to attack already in the first 8 minutes of this ball game have been extremely impressive.
Foul out front on Howard at 12:08. Goes against Gillis. It is his first. Second team foul at 12:08. We come up on another media as UMBC goes back to Odunawo and Armstrong. Taylor takes a seat while Howard responds with Isaiah Brown, 6'1" redshirt freshman. Won a state championship at Don Bosco in New Jersey. Coming up on a media. Back in that zone defense for the Bison. It will trap once it gets to the sideline. Remember, they force 15 turnovers a game, 10th in the country. Downing will shoot it from anywhere. Turned it down to keep it moving. Jacobs dribbles into a handoff to Armstrong left wing. Shot timer down to 10. Bison 19-11 the lead. Trap on this sideline. Rainbow pass up front. Armstrong 5 to shoot. Beats the bad closeout. Fall away 16. And he hits with 2 on the timer. That's 5 for Armstrong. Cuts the deficit to 19-13. Left-hander inside. Harris blocked from behind, but a foul before that at 11:33. And there's a break in the action here in Dayton with the score. Howard 19, UMBC 13. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Hey, here's an incredible app for everyone who buys gas needs to know about Upside. They can earn cash back for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code SCORE for 25 cents per gallon or more on your first fill-up. Cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Upside. Just download the app for free and use promo code SCORE for 25 cents per gallon or more on your first tank. And it's not just for gas. You earn up to 30% cash back at grocery stores, restaurants, and with takeout too. You can cash out anytime to your bank account or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SCORE to get 25 cents per gallon or more cash back on your first tank. Just use my promo code SCORE now. That's code SCORE.
The tournament is here, and Total Wine & More is your slam dunk headquarters. Whether you're cheering courtside from your couch with crisp craft beers, smooth cabs, or refreshing seltzers, we've got the perfect lineup to keep your watch party winning. And just like your bracket, we've got a lineup full of contenders. Whether you're picking favorites or going for bold upsets, our friendly guides will help you find amazing drinks for every matchup. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next-day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. Can I run payroll too?
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships. Danny Reed and King McClure here at our Grainger courtside seats in UD Arena in Dayton. Winning teams know the value of a good sixth man. Count on Grainger to give your business a boost on the bench. Call or click Grainger.com for over 1 million industrial-grade products. 1911, Howard leads UMBC in this 16 battle in the Midwest region. I was wondering how the travel delay was going to affect UMBC. They were wanting to get out of Catonsville yesterday around midday. They were delayed technically 4 hours and 12 minutes. Josh Adunawa telling us that his phone died about 2 hours into the delay while they were sitting on the plane. They couldn't move. It still feels like they're feeling through their offense. Howard looks rhythmic. They look like they've got some confidence.
And for UMBC, it really just boils down to settling in. Number one, it's March Madness. You know everybody is watching. And number two, the style in which Howard plays is not necessarily a style that you are accustomed to seeing all season. When you look at how they press you and how they try to speed you up and try to force you and bait you into taking shots in which, you know, they want you to take. For UMBC, when you settle down and you settle into the pressure and you get the looks that you want, that's where the success comes.
After the foul on Jacobs, Bryce Harris goes to the line, hits both. Nobody in the MEAC has made or attempted more free throws this season. 21-13, back to the biggest lead of the game, and they're pressing. Valentine amidst a double, lasers this one up ahead, right sideline, downing the catch. Doesn't tack because that gap sound defense was basically asking by Taylor, come to me, because it's likely that it's going to go the way of Howard. Downey more comfortable with that three, and that's why. It rips the net from the right corner. 21-16, the deficit is 5.
He shoots 37 from 3 on the year. And he puts that thing up in the air. And that thing was nothing but net.
He had 2 of those in the title game as they're back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since they beat Virginia 8 years ago. Taylor, wing left, foul line extended, clock back to 10 all the way around to Bryson, who's made 1-3 from the other side. Now it finds Harris 7 to shoot. Inside cut Gillis. He thought he was going to get fouled. His layup at the underside of the backboard. Valentine secures. Harris rips it back from him. Now to Okoje. Adjustment air. Too much off glass. Bryson, though, the offensive board. Claps after he makes the layup. He's got 5 off the bench, and it's a 23-16 lead for Howard.
Howard is playing so hard. What they're doing on the offensive glass is going to be something in which UMBC needs to have an answer for.
That was the first offensive rebound, period, and we played almost 10 minutes. Valentine made a 3 from that spot. Little circular pass to Downing from the spot that he just made a three from. O'Donoghue was calling for it amidst the zone, but Valentine doesn't gamble. 6 to shoot. Jacobs does attacks. Dunk goes up, not quite. O'Donoghue went up as it hit the flat part of the iron. Foul, though, at 10:09 is 2 free throws. NCAA March Madness is coming to a court near you. Experience it live as the nation's best compete for a chance to cut down the nets. Get your tickets at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. The foul on Harris is his first as O'Donoghue puts his foot on the nail. He is 73%, 60 though in his career. He has shot it very well from the line lately.
I thought that was one of the few times in which UMBC has been able to withstand the pressure, drive the ball into the lane, and just make a good decision. When they take their time and they're under control, that's when they either see wide open threes, they see layups, or they get to the free throw line.
O'Donoghue makes the first. It's 23-17 Howard at 10:09. Tangent back in for the Retrievers, while Cotton and Gillis return for the Bison. O'Donoghue nearly 85% of the last 9. He makes both. It's 23-18, trailing by nickel as Harris flips one into Gillis backcourt. A lot of tape on that left wrist as he takes a look at Jalakai King defending him with feet barely beyond the arc on the left side. Pop out finds Taylor. Headband looking on the inside. Oh, Harris was open. Instead, it's Bryson's. He hit another three. That one's off the bottom of the backboard. Tipped way up front. Taylor rebounds. Plays off 2 into the lane. Blocked. And O'Donoghue commits his second foul at 9:51. 2 more free throws for Taylor, who has a team-high 6 points already for the Bison.
And the one thing I love about Taylor is when he drives, he seeks out the contact. He's not shying away. He's trying to go straight through your chest. And as a result, he ends up at the free throw line time and time again.
Taylor's already hit 2 of 2, looking for point number 7. Does not get the members bounce here at UD Arena. Later on, we'll select the call of the day, sponsored by CallRail. CallRail helps over 225,000 businesses see exactly what marketing makes their phone ring. Stop guessing and start winning with CallRail. The lead is 5. Taylor's second. There's 7. 24-18, 2-possession contest. Waiting for the inbound to wind the clock from 9:51. Downing has Paul's on it. Looks at that double as Harris goes flapjack in front of him. Now Tangent way up ahead. Digs by himself. Two-handed dunk for the one-time ODU Monarch. 24-20 within 4.
And you can break the pressure on the opposite side. You will get wide open layups, but you have to be under control.
UMBC gets scattered on defense, allows Bryson to drive. That's a tough angle shot. It almost swirled in. Harris the rebound. And while he was getting swiped at, he is fouled at 9:27. They called DJ Armstrong for his first.
And although Howard isn't the tallest team in the country, and they're a little bit undersized, they're extremely tough and very athletic. So when the shot goes up, we've seen in the past 3 possessions, 2 offensive rebounds. That's something that UMBC is going to have to pay attention to.
5 fouls already for UMBC. They just commit 13 a game. That's second fewest in the country as that corner 3 goes banging off the hands of Cotton. Rebound for UMBC's Diggs. Transition. Here comes King. Great blow by. Left wing, right side of glass, lays it up and in. And it's a 2-point game. UMBC has scored 8 of the last 9 points in this one. Taylor can't change it. Fumbled it away. Okoje helps his buddy. Missed it once. Putt back. And the foul for the second time of the half. Ferozi Okoje halt the clock at 9:05. 26-22 Bison by 4.
And that's another offensive rebound that ends up with an and one. For UMBC being the taller team in this matchup, the one thing you have to worry about with Howard, even though they're kind of undersized, they have long athletic wings who look to attack the offensive glass, and they're starting to impose their will on that side of things.
Okoje spins in the left palm, dribbles, puts it back in the right, shoots too shy, doesn't get the second and one. UMBC's rebound goes to Paul Green, who missed 6 games because of injury, one of the 5 D2 transfers that head coach Jim Ferry brought to Catonsville. 8:53 and turning, 26-22 Bison lead the Retrievers. Howard looks for its first ever NCAA tourney win here in Dayton. Green to King from right wing, started downhill, retreats downhill again. The strip turns into a foul. Bad news for Howard because Okoje would have been all by himself. Instead, it's his first and Howard's 4th team foul.
And I thought right there, I mean, Okoje had the position. It's what he did with his hands when he tried to reach in, because he beat King to the spot and could have gotten the steal without swiping in.
Can't blame him for being a little bit eager. When this team played in the first four 2 years ago against Wagner, he didn't get a chance to compete. He had 2 concussions, actually suffered the second one against UMBC in November of that year. Shot clock 8. King shows after the handoff from Tangent. Top shot of the keyhole. Glass rim not quite. Taylor wrestles away the rebound, then passed it before he traveled. 8:20 the clock turns. Howard with a 4-point lead. And as Taylor got contact on the outside, that's the 7th team foul on UMBC. It's Green's first. So Howard is going to shoot for the rest of the half. Go back to that. UMBC just 13 fouls a game on average. That is 7. And we have 8:18 left in the first half.
And a part of the reason why that is because Howard is just doing a really good job of putting pressure on your defense. So when you drive closeouts and you now put the defense in rotation, you're more susceptible as a defense to pick up those fouls. And because of Howard's aggression and how they're driving the basketball, they put you in a bind.
Taylor with the 1-and-1 splashes that home. 4-5 at the line, 8 points leads all scores. That's about half of what he averages for the season. As Valentine is back in for the Retrievers. Download the Westwood One Sports app and catch every minute of March Madness. Anytime, anywhere. Don't be left out. Get the Westwood One Sports app today. Howard the aggressor for much of the half. UMBC scored the first 4. Howard scored the next 9. They've been ahead since. Both free throws in for Taylor. It's 28-22 Bison. Taylor missed the first 11 games this year with a hand injury. As Diggs goes up ahead, had the angle after beating the defense as the ball is deflected towards the baseline. Taylor with an acrobatic rebound on one toe, and then he nearly double dribbled, crossing from back to front. Feet inside, Okoje to Kavakavicius. Ball trickles to the corner. Diggs got in between. Do I let it go? Do I take it? He takes it, so UMBC can work against a broken floor. 7:50 on the clock, 28-22. Howard a 6-point lead. Lefty Armstrong blows by Taylor. 1-step, 2-step, lane, curls over iron, count it and foul. He's got a +1 coming up when we come back with the score in Dayton. It is Howard 28, now UMBC 24. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
What's the impact of hiring the right person for the job? Someone who simply doesn't fill a role but elevates it. Indeed Sponsored Jobs can help you connect with candidates who have the right experience and a proven track record. Find people who don't just complete tasks, they transform how work gets done. Don't leave hiring to chance. Sponsor your job posting on Indeed and match with the right candidates. Sponsor your job at Indeed.com/credit.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the one you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Jason Horwitz, and a man who watches more film than anyone, Nick Baugh. Happy to have you back with us here in our Westwood One studios in Los Angeles. Back to Dayton in a moment. Howard leading UMBC 28-24. Last year, first game of the tournament was one of the best games of the tournament.
Tone.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting there again.
Agree. I was anticipating, because of Howard's pressure and the way they defend, a little bit of a choppy game. Been clean so far. UMBC, they got to feel good that they're taking care of the basketball, only 2 turnovers, but Howard is getting to the free throw line, 8 for 10. UMBC second nationally in fewest fouls per game. Those are the 2 through lines that I'm going to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, remember, we will see Howard has never won an NCAA tournament game, but so far they have led for all but 1 minute and 21 seconds in this ball game. Be sure to stay with us for the halftime report, sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Nick and I will check the thoughts on this game, plus get you ready for Game 2, NC State and Texas. We will hear from first-year Wolfpack head coach Will Wade. It is all coming up at the half from Dayton. But for now, Danny Reed, King McClure, let's get you back to keep going.
Thank you, guys. The first 9.5 minutes, King, there wasn't an offensive rebound in this game. UMBC still doesn't have one. They've only missed 8 shots, hitting 53%. But Howard, 5 offensive boards, the last nearly 3 minutes, 5 second chance points in a 4-point game. Feels like that's where Howard has been able to keep the ball on their side.
Yeah, they're doing a tremendous job when you're dealing with the athletes, Okoje, Taylor, Harris. You have to know where those guys are at all times. Like we keep alluding to, I mean, they're not the biggest team. In the front court, they're a little undersized, but with their athleticism and honestly right now, their will, I think with those two things, you have to be aware and you have to make an extra effort to keep them off the glass.
Armstrong is known for his three-point shooting. He just got the and one, fouled by Taylor. He is 64 of 69 at the line this year, make it 65 of 70. It is 28-25, a three-point game. Armstrong leads the Retrievers with 8 in his 10 minutes. UMBC going back to its man-to-man, double high post screen. One from Okoje, then from Kavakavicius. Now to the left corner for Taylor. He leads Howard with 9 points on 5 of 6 at the line, also 4 boards. UMBC trying to slow Howard down. That would play much more to the Retrievers' favor. Just 7 to shoot. Gillis triple threat. Gets the right lane line. Kick left wing. Open look Okoje. Lines up a 3 and he buries it with 2 on the timer. Howard now 3 of 7 from distance. Back up by 6.
And that's not a strong suit of his. He's not extremely comfortable from deep, but if you allow him to see one, he's more than capable.
He's only hit 13 threes on the year. Tangent answers. The 5-man makes his 25th of the year. 3 goes for 3. It's back to 3, 31-28 Howard.
And Tangent's 40 from 3 in the last 2. So he's a stretch big that can really knock it down.
Gillis looking inside. Low post opportunity for Kazakavicius. Goes over the right-handed hook. Right iron, left iron fall off. Tangent boards at 6:42. And it's Retriever basketball. They can tie it with a 3. Remember, they scored the first 4, next 9 from Howard. And the Bison's been up for all but 81 seconds. Clock at 6:33. Diggs mid-post. Poke away from behind, has it back, kick out. King 3 in the tie, not quite offline right. Block off against Tangent against Gillis. He almost body checked him into the photographers, but feet together, inbounds to board. Gives it to Taylor, who shovels it right back. Snakes his way through the double, stumbles behind the pass to the right corner. Bank shot goes in and out, and a blocking foul was called before Okoje let the ball go at 6:16. Jalakai King is whistled for the personal foul. It's the 8th on UMBC as the clock stops at 6:16 with Downing back in for UMBC.
Cooper Downing checks back in for UMBC.
Will be a 1-and-1 for Okoje. 6'5" senior out of Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Played in just 6 games last year. Takes a spin, takes the shot. Front end long, rebound Downing. It's the second time that Howard has missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Retriever basketball trailing by a triple. Approaching 6, but it's foul line extended. Dancing inside. Downing with a pump fake. Goes from the left to the right. Uses glass to finish. A rare 2 for Downing. It's a 1-point game, 31-30.
And that's just a great cut. When Tangent has the basketball, he does a really good job of being able to locate cutters. Really good passer for a big.
Downing's only hit 10 two-pointers all season as UMBC flashes a zone framework. Pick and pop. Harris 3. He just made one from there. That cracks the knuckle. Rebound to Okoje. Bigger body. Back up. And it's his 3rd. First half and 1. Bumps chest with Harris. Does the high 5 as well with Kazakavicius at 5:42. The Bison back up 33-30.
So for Howard, we saw early on what brought them success was being able to penetrate off of closeouts and being able to live at the rim. Now, their offense is being predicated based off of second chance points. We're seeing them attack the glass and put an extra effort, and they're really starting to be dominant on that side.
6 offensive boards, 7 second chance points, make it 8 as that circles the cylinder and falls to give Okoje now 13 in the first half. It's a 34-30 Howard lead. Pressure broken. Tangent feet together, doesn't click the heels for a 3. Instead, it circles its way to the left side for Diggs. Thunders to the glass. Blocked from behind Kazakavicius. And on the deflection, Gillis has it. Broken floor. Gillis attacks from the 45. Lays it up and in with a scoop shot. Timeout called by Jim Ferry of UMBC at 5:23. There's a timeout on the court with the score. Howard up by 6, 36-30 on the Retrievers. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You can stream every Westwood One basketball game for free, sponsored by LinkedIn Ads. Stop wasting ad budget on the wrong audience. LinkedIn Ads put your message in front of the right decision makers. Spend $250, get $250. Go to linkedin.com/college basketball. Terms apply. For a live stream, go to westwood1sports.com or download the Westwood One Sports app today. King, you made the comment that it seemed like UMBC was settling in a little. They're playing much better offensively, getting to the rim. They're up to 52%. But Howard, because they keep drawing fouls, they keep getting second chance buckets. 7 offensive boards to none, 8 second chance points to none. They've got 5 straight to re-extend this lead to 36-30.
And when you look at it, UMBC has 0 turnovers, which is a good thing. However, they have 2 turnovers, which is still a good thing in the first 15 minutes with the way that Howard pressures you in their 8th in turnover percentage defense. But some of their shots that they take are just as bad as a turnover, live ball turnover.
King bumped in the backcourt. It's Taylor's second, guy that leads Howard, at least front court wise, in scoring with 9. Akoje has 13. He averages 10.5 per game. That's Howard's 16th foul, so that's their last to give. Howard going to be in the bonus on any other UMBC foul. Every other shot will be 2 at the line. 5:10 left. Diggs in the right corner. Brief poke away from Taylor. Still in with 2 fouls. But Kenny Blakeney, a high percentage of 2-foul participation. Nearing 5 minutes. Downing's made a 3 and a 2. 2-step lane floater. Right rim off. 2-handed rebound down low. And a foul as Tanchin went back up trying to rock the rim. But he's earned a trip to the line at 4:57. And the foul was on Akoje. That is his second. Now both teams are in the bonus for the rest of the half, and Tanchin shoots 2.
And with Tanchin being 6'10", he's the tallest player on the floor. So I wouldn't be surprised if UMBC in the half court tries to throw the ball inside and maybe take Tanchin's temperature. See how he's feeling, see if he can get an easy 2. And honestly, with his ability to be able to pass, that might be your best offense because he can score with a smaller defender or he can pass out if they send the double.
Bryson back in for Taylor as Tanchin missed the first and the second. Valentine went up with 1 hand, but it's Cotton back in that goes up with 2 and rebounds. Man, they're off the floor quickly. Harris thought a baseline penetration. Angle cut from Bryson. Tanchin looking back at him, so he stopped from 10. Gillis gives it a try, then retreats to the top of the key at 4:42. 36-30. Howard's been up by 2 possessions much of the half. UMBC got it to 1, but they haven't led since they scored the first 4. Timer down to 7. Harris 1-on-1 left against the slender Diggs. Harris 6'4", 225. Football pass Akoje. 2 to shoot 3. He's got another one. Akoje, 16 in the first half. This is the biggest lead, 39-30 for Howard. Oh, that looked like a travel in the backcourt on Downing. But as Valentine operates, we just move on here in Dayton at 4:10. Diggs with a shoulder bump, contact from Bryson. It's his foul, it's his first, and a 1-and-1 for UMBC's Caden Diggs.
And Okoje is not necessarily known as a three-point shooter, but Danny, this is March. Anything is possible.
We said this earlier. He's hit 12 all year. That's 2 in the first half. They've scored 8 straight points. DJ Armstrong comes back in for Cougar Downing. One of the best names in this tournament, Cougar Downing. Diggs up on his toes, exhales, shoots the front end. That's long. They missed their last 3 at the line, then a foul at that right lane line goes on Valentine. It is his first. And on the 10th team foul, it's 2 personals, or rather 2 shots the rest of the half at 4:09. Danny Reed and King McClure here at our Granger courtside seats. UD Arena in Dayton. When you need products in a pinch, Granger offers same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. Click Granger.com or stop by for industrial-grade supplies for your business.
And that right there is just a bad foul by Valentine. 94 feet away from the hoop, and now you're allowing Harris to go shoot 2 free throws, which he hits the first one. But if you're UMBC, this is where you're kind of in that danger zone. You need to value the possession and get stops on the defensive side, but get stops without fouling.
9-0 run after the first, 10-0 after the second. Biggest lead, 41-30. UMBC had 2 buckets to get it within a penny. Got the 5 straight. Jim Ferry called one of his timeouts at the 5.5-minute mark. And now as we approach the under 4, UMBC seems like they've lost all the momentum that they built over about a 3 or 4 minute stretch. Diggs key extended right. Bryson face really wide, arms really wide. Looks like a windmill. Inside cutting. King, a top angle shot, hits side rim from 12. One-handed rebound. Harris at 6'4". He's going to lead the break. Trapped on this sideline. Pivots off the correct foot. Now downhill. Cotton 2-step. He goes off glass. Can't finish at 3:42, but he has a free throw trip. When we come back from this break in the action in Dayton with the score, Howard 41, UMBC 30. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, sports fans, Kevin Kugler here, sportscaster for college basketball. And I have a special announcement from Five Guys. They know no bracket is safe this tournament season and want you to be prepared. Like when that pesky 12 seed upsets the 5. Or that school you never heard of turns your lock into a loss. Ouch. So when your bracket inevitably busts, don't cry. Stop at Five Guys and get some consolation fries. They'll make you feel like a winner again.
The way we watch video is changing. Shorter, faster, always moving. Introducing Rumble Shorts. Rumble's home for short-form video. A swipeable feed of short vertical videos designed to keep discovery moving. Watch, swipe, discover new creators. Follow the voices you care about. Support them directly with tips through Rumble Wallet. Short-form video the way audiences expect it, while staying true to Rumble's vision of free speech. Rumble Shorts. Discover more. Support creators. Keep the conversation open.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
America, let me be very clear. If your car breaks down and your plan is to hope it won't cost too much, you're cooked. Done. Sayonara. Hope will not pay the bill. Hope ain't going to replace your transmission, and it isn't a defense I've ever heard of. That's why I ride with CarShield, America's most trusted auto protection. We're talking elite-level defense that saves you money when unexpected repairs happen. And you know I love a good defense. Get your free quote at carshield.com. carshield.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Granger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Howard has stretched the lead to 11, 41-30, 3:42 left in the first half. Let's check on some of the stats, sponsored by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol's thick and rich moisturizing lather. Start your day off right with Barbasol. Pretty easy. 10-0 run has built the 11-point lead. Okoje has 6 of it. He's already hit 2 threes as part of a game-high 16 points, but also the free throws. Howard, 11 out of 14. You know they love to get to the line. Nick mentioned that during pregame. They're averaging 19 makes per contest on the season. 73% as a team. That's top 20 nationally in makes and attempts. UMBC just 4 of 8. They missed their last 3.
And what's so impressive about Howard is with as fast as they play, a lot of times you would think teams play out of control, but up to this point, they have one turnover. I mean, they are pushing the tempo, but taking care of the basketball while doing so, and 6 offensive rebounds that led to 8 second chance points. And the tempo, they are dictating it. They have dictated it from the beginning of the game to now. And UMBC, if they do not fix their body language, this could be dangerous territory.
Cotton's free throw falls in, first of 2. It's 42-30. It's an 11-0 run as Akoje goes out for Donis Kazakavicius, had a Lithuania 6'10 freshman. The only offensive rebound UMBC has this half is Tanchin. He missed both free throws right after that. Clock at 3:42. Deficit is a dozen. Now a Baker's dozen, 43-30. Howard 13-16 at the line. Valentine shuffles right now left. Gives to Jalakot King, who frustratedly waves his teammate up court. Somebody for UMBC has to put both hands on the wheel because Howard is back in control like they were after they scored those 9 straight early. Jacobs, who was the starter earlier at the 5, now to King. Left wing 3. That's a good start for UMBC to get back on track within 43-33.
And he's been the one guy between him and Armstrong that can actually make plays and can be able to keep up with the tempo that Howard is playing. They need to continue to do so.
King has 8. Bryson, quick drive from wing to baseline. Stops in the charge circle. Just flips it up and home. 45-33 Bison. 3:07 on the clock.
UMBC cannot guard Howard off of the bounce. That's where they've had their biggest struggles, containing Howard off the dribble.
Trap off the ball screen. Armstrong keeps his wits, get back to the strong left hand to Diggs left wing. Skip it back this way for Valentine, who can't dump it down low for Jacobs because Gillis fronts the post. Shot clock down to 9. The left wing. Valentine a triple that cracks the knuckle. Diggs keeps it alive near half court. Valentine beats Kazakavicius to reset it to 20. Down by 12. King baseline. He's got 5 in a row. That's their first second chance field goal within 45-35. Now they're back in the zone. As soon as you said that, I was wondering when UMBC was going to say, we can't check these guys one-on-one. We've got to go with the zone defense.
And I love the adjustment because one-on-one they have struggled to be able to defend and keep Howard out the lane.
There's the turnover. Harris just the second, throw it right to Valentine. Up ahead, Jacob. One-handed dunk and the foul. Bryson crashed into him for whatever reason as Jacob pumps up himself to the line for 1 at 2:11. The lead is down to 8 at 45-37.
So if you notice, Danny, 1 turnover in the first 17 minutes for Howard, and the first possession in which UMBC goes into that 2-3 zone, they're able to create a turnover, get out in transition, and get an and one. If I'm UMBC, I'm going right to that zone every single possession because now you're forcing Howard, who isn't a good three-point shooting team, to have to make decisions, and they're not going to be able to have that same dual penetration which got them this lead.
First bucket, first free throw for Riley Jacobs. It is now 45-38. Howard has made its last 4 shots at 52%, but they're off the turnover against the zone. UMBC right back in the 2-3 frame. There's the lob. Oh, from way up front, down low. Right baseline cut, Bryson the rise, and the dunk. He has their last 2 buckets. 47-38 as the clock winds to 1:45. King on the inside, draws everybody to Armstrong for 3. Right wing off iron, tip back Jacob. He was wide open, but he played it like a game of 50. It missed everything. Bryson boards to Gillis. Splits the double. 2 guard him. Kick out Bryson up front at 1:30. They'll re-engage after he spins on that left toe. Bounce up near half court. Gillis starts right against the 2-3. Points it out for the clearance from Downing. Now to Harris, 1-step, 2-step into it. Left wing down to 9. Harris mid-post, the catch, the turnaround, 12, clicks right iron, goes to the weak side where Armstrong boards for UMBC. 1:10 and running. King behind the back, keeps his balance into the lane. Bad angle off glass. Harris soars in for the rebound, and again, he leads the break with the Bison up by 9. Bryson tries again with a Euro. Bounce along the baseline of the quarter. Gillis to the right wing, turns on the inside, goes up with a scoop. Another bad angle, and a very late whistle, but the foul goes on the over the back, the on the back at 53.8. The foul goes on Downing. Robbins, it's his first. Both teams in the double bonus, so at 53.8, UMBC to the line, trailing by 9. Perfectly drawn up a couple of possessions back. They went with that lob, finding the weakness on the baseline against the 2-3. As Armstrong loves those free throws, that's why he's 2 of 2. 47-39, cutting it to 8. King out, Downing back for UMBC. Howard scores 77 a game, number one in the MEAC. They have 47 and a half, and Armstrong misses the second free throw. That is only the 6th free throw he's missed all year. Gillis clears for the Bison. Front court at 45, lob not there. High post is. The catch off the bounce for Robbins. One-on-one with Jacobs. Jacobs taller, so Rainbow goes right sideline. 35 away to Gillis. Inside ball screen. Now to the skip from Bryce, who has had a solid offensive first half. Timer down to 7 as UMBC zone is slowing Howard just enough, but they lead by 8. 3 to shoot. Bryson from 18. He makes again. A gutty shot from the baseline at 23.4. Timeout Howard. They're use it or lose it with a 49-39 lead. There's a timeout on the court. Howard by 10, 23 4/10. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
This is the story of the One. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Travell Bryson for Howard, the transfer from Vincennes University in Indiana. It's his 17th game in double figures this season. We bring him up specifically because his baseline, Jay, gives him 11 and a half. It's a 10-point lead for Howard, 49-39. UMBC should have the final shot of the half as Valentine walks it up court with Downing, with Armstrong, with Diggs, and Jacobs way up the other end. Now the trap as soon as Valentine crossed. He felt it coming right of the logo. Gives to Downing with a jumping high arcing pass. First half clock down to 8, now 7, now 6. 10-point deficit. Downing the crossover. Fakes the pass. Left hand off glass. What a play. Lays it up and in with 2 seconds. Inbounds to Gillis as the buzzer sounds. Downing had made 9 twos all year. That's his second of the first half. At least it gets the Retrievers within 49-41 at the break.
UMBC seeing some success. Getting stops in that zone, although Bryson hit that tough mid-range jumper. You baited him and you made him take the shot that you want him to take. I do think this 2-3 will get UMBC back into this ball game, and we're going to be in it for a good one.
The halftime score at UD Arena, Howard 49, UMBC 41. When we return, we'll head back to our studios for the halftime report. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, it's Josh Arnold from the Bob and Tom Show. You know, it's March, which means the tournament is officially here. The arenas are packed, and my bracket, well, it's busted. But it's also where underdogs rise, and every second counts. Rougiette knows that applies off the court, too. If things aren't working in the bedroom, you don't have to accept it. Rougiette Ready combines 3 ingredients in 1 minty dose that dissolves under your tongue, so you're ready physically and mentally, with effects lasting up to 36 hours. Getting started is simple. Rougiette connects you with a doctor online who can decide if a prescription is right for you. Then the treatment ships discreetly to your door. Rougiette, performance medicine for men. Head to rougiette.com/gameon and get 15% off your ED treatment. That's RUGIET.com/gameon for 15% off. Individual results may vary. Prescription required. Telehealth is not intended to replace medical care. Please consult with your doctor. Restrictions apply. Visit RUGIET.com to learn more.
Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries, she can afford the cover-up too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Don't waste your B2B marketing on the wrong people. With LinkedIn ads, you reach the right professionals where they already are. LinkedIn has a network of over 1 billion professionals. You can target your buyers by job title, industry, company, and more. That means no wasted shots, just buzzer beaters. Spend $250 on your first LinkedIn ads campaign and get a $250 credit for the next one. Go to linkedin.com/collegebasketball. That's linkedin.com/collegebasketball. Terms and conditions apply.
On the court, every possession counts. In business, it's every lead. But too many businesses are still guessing what's making the phone ring and what's a waste of money. CallRail turns that guesswork into a winning game plan by showing you exactly what marketing drove every call, text, and form fill. CallRail's AI assistant can even answer calls 24/7, book appointments, and keep leads from calling the competition so you never miss your shot. That's why over 250,000 businesses trust CallRail. Stop guessing and start winning. Try it free at callrail.com.
What's the impact of hiring the right person for the job? Someone who simply doesn't fill a role but elevates it. Indeed Sponsored Jobs can help you connect with candidates who have the right experience and a proven track record. Find people who don't just complete tasks, they transform how work gets done. Don't leave hiring to chance. Sponsor your job posting on Indeed and match with the right candidates. Sponsor your job at Indeed.com/credit.
Welcome to the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network Halftime Report, sponsored by Liberty Mutual.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Once again, here are your hosts, Jason Horowitz and Nick Bob.
49-41, Howard the lead on UMBC. It is halftime in Dayton, and the Bison led most of the first half. Happy to have you back with us here along my partner Nick Bond. You know, Nick, statistically in this first half, both these teams really similar. The only difference, second chance points for Howard.
Yeah, and Howard's the more athletic team, and I think they played to their athleticism in the offensive glass and in their game off the bounce. I've said it, UMBC, only 13 fouls per game. That's second fewest nationally. They had 11 fouls in that first half, and a lot of that was because Howard was just too athletic for him getting into the paint and getting to the free throw line, 13 of 16 from the foul line. I do echo what our guy King McClure was saying. I think down the stretch of that first half, UMBC started to play some 2-3 zone that helped pack the paint, and protect fouls as well. Something to keep an eye on in that second half is how much zone UMBC played. But Howard really played a really good 20 minutes of basketball.
It was outstanding by the Bison, and if they can hold on, they will win their first ever NCAA tournament game and earn a trip to take on another Jordan Brand jersey in Michigan coming up Thursday in Buffalo. All right, let's switch to game number 2. It is Texas and NC State. And, Nick, both these teams, they're really limping heading into this game. NC State 2-7 their last 9 games. Texas 1-5 its last 6 games. And yet it is a rematch of two teams that combined to score 200 points the first time they played back in November.
Yeah, they played in Maui in November, and that game saw a ton of offense. And so that does make for an interesting dynamic here where these two teams have played each other. And Texas hit 16 threes in that first matchup, so NC State has to do a better job defending the three. But I got my eyes on Darian Williams for NC State. He was with Texas Tech a year ago. He averaged 21 points per game in the Red Raiders' run to the Elite Eight. I think maybe his NCAA tournament experience and his ability to just go make plays could end up looming large in this one.
Yeah, we will see. Now, you mentioned all the threes. Jordan Pope had a ton of those for Texas at the Maui Invitational. He had 28 in the 102-97 win back in November. But he was also on the losing end of this game last year against Xavier.
It's just a great opportunity ahead of us. You know, playing here last year, obviously being on the losing end of that wasn't nice, but having that, I guess, underneath my belt and just understanding the stakes and, you know, what we're playing for and how big and meaningful it is. So just keeping that in mind, but, you know, it's a great opportunity.
All right, so they are hoping to move on this time around to get out of Dayton. Remember, last year they lost to Xavier, who was coached by Sean Miller, and he is now, of course, the head coach at Texas. And there's two coaches in this game who were at different places in the tournament last year. Will Wade was at McNeese. In fact, this year leading NC State to the tournament. It is his 4th school that he has taken to the tournament in 10 years. And Danny Reed got the chance to catch up with the head coach of the Wolfpack.
Coach, in this instance, it's a team you've already played this year, season on the line. How much has changed since that first matchup down in Maui?
Well, hopefully we've gotten better. You know, hopefully our defense is a little better. They scored 102 on us. You know, hopefully we've been a little bit better. We'll see tonight, you know, if we've been able to improve. But they shot the ball really well from 3 against us. We didn't contest a bunch of shots. They were 16 of 32 from 3 against us. Pope had a huge night. Pope's a tremendous player. He had a huge night. We had a really hard time stopping 8 down low. He was pretty problematic for us. So hopefully we can shore up some of those issues.
You had the 6-game winning streak during conference play. It's clear that you've got that high ceiling, but at this point in the year, what's the key to maximizing potential and reaching that ceiling, maybe even going through the glass ceiling?
Well, the whole key for us is if we can make shots. Look, we're a jump shooting team. That's just how we've been all year. 6-game winning streak, we shot it, about 40% from three. And so it's really that simple for us. We can sit here and talk about anything you want to talk about, but if the Wolfpack don't make shots, it's going to be one and done for us tonight. So, look, we got to make shots. We got to get clean looks. Texas, the first game, did a really good job taking away Paul McNeil, made his looks extremely tough. They were contested looks, and so we got to do a better job of getting him free and then getting some of these other guys some good looks as well.
How can you use your defense to do that?
Well, hopefully we can generate some steals and get out in transition. But look, we're not a very good defensive rebounding team. We're gonna have a tough time grabbing some defensive boards, particularly with their length and their height. But hopefully we can generate some steals. That has been one of the better parts of our defense, and sit on some spin moves, sit on some drives, and be able to get out in transition and get clean looks from three.
Coach, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, so that game coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of game number 1. NC State and Texas later. Howard and UMBC starting off the tournament, and the Bison with an 8-point lead, 49-41 at the break. Nick Baugh's big picture on the tournament as we get ready for Thursday. That comes up on the other side. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
When you're chasing a championship, every step matters. Getting to the top takes focus, discipline, commitment. What you put first defines you. At Werner, they put safety above all. From ladders and climbing equipment to proven fall protection, everything they build meets a higher standard. No shortcuts, no compromises. Because what you stand on should match what you stand for. Werner, the official ladder of NCAA March Madness.
Class, today we're talking NCAA championships and life lessons. Schoolwork got you stressed? Feeling overwhelmed? Need a place to unleash a quick, hearty yell? Yeah! You gotta get off the couch and join thousands of screaming fans for a heart-pounding in-person to believe NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Will this be on the test?
Oh, sweet child. This is the test.
O'Reilly.
Replace your wiper blades and save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Beam blade technology improves windshield contact for maximum visibility. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the one you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Jason Horwitz, Nick Baugh, happy to have you back with us here on the Halftime Report, sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual customizes your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. 49-41, Howard the lead on UMBC, game 1 of the 67-game tournament, Nick. And, there's so many things that we're looking forward to over the course of the next 3 weeks on the road to Indianapolis. Power certainly at the top with the 1 seeds, but injuries all over this tournament.
Unfortunately, that's one of the storylines. JT Toppin for Texas Tech, who I thought could have got to the Final Four, out with an ACL. Caleb Wilson out with the broken hand for North Carolina. That changes, I think, the ceiling for the Tar Heels. Richie Saunders for BYU, very important. Duke down 2 starters potentially is a big deal. I know they still are led by Cam Boozer, but that impacts the Blue Devils. And you can't forget about even guys like Braden Huff for Gonzaga and LJ Kaysen for Michigan. Very important guard off the bench for the Wolverines that comes in for their second unit to help push pace. he's out for the Wolverines. I get those teams are littered with talent everywhere, but those are some key pieces for some top 4 seeds that aren't involved. What do things look like with those teams?
And when those guys went out, a lot of those guys you just mentioned were their leading scorers and or best players. And so can these teams make deep runs in this tournament without those guys? We will find out as this tournament progresses. All right, 49-41, Howard has the lead on UMBC at the half. When we return, it is back to Dayton to get going for the second half. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
Furnished by Donors Choose.
My name is Alana. I was 6 years old, and I got diagnosed with cancer. I come to St. Jude for treatment.
After her last treatment on December the 4th, I was just kind of having a conversation with her, letting her know, Alana, you did awesome. I mean, so proud of you. Like, you fought, you accepted whatever was happening, you went with it. And her words to me were, Mommy, thank you so much for helping me get through this. She said, I could not have done this without you. This was very hard. And I couldn't even hold my tears because when I think about it, I would not have been able to get through this without St. Jude. And so once we became part of the St. Jude family, everything was okay. Thank you, St. Jude, for helping me get her through this because I wouldn't have been able to do it without them.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Few minutes left in halftime at UD Arena. The Howard Bison 49, the UMBC Retrievers 41. Biggest part of the half, that 12-0 Howard run. Just after the midway portion, King, UMBC saving itself by going to that 2-3 zone. What else do they need to be able to do out of that to get Howard out of rhythm?
Well, I think the last 3 minutes really went in UMBC's favor. I mean, when they went into that zone, you saw that Howard, outside of that first possession where they threw the lob, we saw that Howard really struggled. And what that zone does is it slows you down and it forces you to make decisions. And Howard, being an up-tempo team that likes to push the pace, well, when they're going against the 2-3 zone, all their decision-making has to actually be mitigated and slowed down a little bit. So I think that zone does a really good job of starting to dictate the tempo and get it back if you're UMBC.
Sorry, I was mesmerized by Nate James talking about defense right in front of us, the one-time Duke standout. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Empower. Invest well, live a little, join Empower's 19 million customers at Empower.com. We spent so much time pregame talking about the meaning of having Harris and Taylor in that Howard front court. So, of course, Okogie goes for 16 on 6 of 9 shooting. He had 3 and 1s, 3 rebounds in his 16 minutes. Bryson off the bench had 11 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 3 boards in his 11 minutes as Howard shoots 51%, 4 of 9 from distance, and 13 of 16 from the line. They were also +7 on the glass. That's an important part of what they want to be. UMBC ends up 48%. When they ran offense, it was good. 9 assists, 2 turnovers, but only 1 in double figures. Jalakai King had 5 straight down the stretch. He finishes with 10 in his 17 minutes of action. This has been the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network Halftime Report, sponsored by Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual customizes your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need. Up next, we'll have the second half from UD Arena in Dayton. You're listening to men's basketball tournament action on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History.
March 16, 2018. The #1 overall seed Virginia facing little-known University of Maryland, Baltimore County in a first-round matchup. A 16 seed had taken the court against the top seed 135 times prior, and 135 times they lost. But on this night in Charlotte, Ryan Odom's UMBC squad gave new meaning to the word bracket buster.
Johnson will inbound. Bounces it into Jerome. The clock's going to run out. The ultimate upset has happened. A 16 has beaten a 1 for the first time in NCAA history. UMBC knocks off Virginia. The madness has hit its peak.
Virginia's normally stellar defense had no answers for the Retrievers, allowing a season-high 74 points. And UMBC shocked the Cavs and the nation with a 20-point victory, accomplishing something that hadn't been done since the tournament field expanded to 64 teams in 1985. A 16 beats a 1. Definitely a great moment in tournament history. I'm Ryan Radke.
And it was 8 years ago yesterday that UMBC not only shocked the college basketball world, but really the sporting world with that 20-point win against the #1 Virginia Cavaliers. Granted, Virginia did win it all the next season. But, King, UMBC understands, maybe better than anybody else, what a win on that stage can do for your program, but also the profile of your university. They've got work to do. Most first-half points they've allowed all year, down 49-41 to Howard. But I don't think we have an accurate depiction of what their defense is going to be because we didn't see enough of the shift to the 2-3 zone. I'm curious to see at least the first 5 minutes how that's going to go.
And UMBC is a team that's known to play man-to-man. I mean, that's what they've done majority of the season. But they just have not been able to stay in front one-on-one. And not only that, the help defense has just not been there. So when Howard has been able to penetrate and get into the lane, there's been no help side defense rotating over to eliminate the drives, and Howard is just doing a really good job of penetrating and making this extremely tough. So, yes, this zone, I think, eliminates penetration, and I think that Howard and Coach Blakeney are going to have to come up with some offensive plays if they're going to face this 2-3 and really try to attack it in the second half.
And they had guys make jump shots that don't typically make jump shots, especially late in the shot clock. Time now for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. When hiring gets chaotic, then this is a job for sponsored jobs. Sponsor your job on Indeed and match with quality candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit. UMBC basketball right to left. They are in the designated home uniform, the all-white UMBC on the chest in black with a gold trim. Names and numbers on the back for fifth-year head coach Jim Ferry. Third time he's been in an NCAA tourney. Led LIU Brooklyn to the big dance in 2011 and 2012. Howard in the all-black, bison on the chest in red, the B and the N kind of flaming with the numbers in silver trimmed in red. Names on the back as well for head coach Kenny Blakeney, trying for Howard's first ever tourney win. UMBC wraparound from King down to the low post for O'Donovo, who didn't play much in the first half with foul trouble. UMBC 3 starters with 2 fouls. King, the hesitation, baseline top 10-foot pull-up, and as he falls down, it circles the cylinder and falls. 49-43 as the Retrievers cut it to 6.
I love the aggressiveness. You saw it in the first half, and he continues to do it in the second. King has to come up big in the second half.
King with 12. He has 6 of their last 9 points. Okoje front court, now left to right for Howard. Taylor back, and he had 2 foul trouble. 6 points early. Can Okoje stay hot? And he does! 3 threes tonight. He has 19. 52-43 Howard.
He was knocked out with a concussion last time these two teams played. This is the Okoje get-back game.
He had 12 threes all year. He's got a quarter of that and barely a half here in Dayton. King leads in. Oh, the basket spit it back out. Harris uncontested board. It's a 3-on-3. Gillis, wing three. Up pop for Cotton. It didn't fall. Offensive board, Harris. Put it back way too hard. Second put back more difficult, but it popped off the fingertips and goes down the cylinder. 54-43 Howard.
Harris is only 6'4", but he's a grown man.
10-2 advantage now in second chance points for Howard. +5 in offensive boards. Can Armstrong answer left wing? His 3 clicks front rim. One-handed board tangent. What a play by the 5-man. He lays it back up at home. 54-45, the same backwards as frontwards.
With Tangent being 6'10", he needs to insert himself. On the glass, down low, Tangent is the guy that needs to get going along with King.
He has 3 of their 4 offensive boards as that foul got called on dribble penetration. Goes against Adunowo. That is his 3rd. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood 1 NCAA Radio Network coverage, your home for the national championships. Free throw up and in for Cedric Taylor. He is 6 of 7, the 3rd in double figures for Howard. He has 10, and the lead is 10, 55-45 for the Bison. Taylor 80% at the line, starting 5-man, played at Morehouse last year. Former all-freshman team member, first team all-conference in Division II last year, goes 2 of 2, kisses the Raptors. 56-45, UMBC ball down by 11. Howard looking for its first ever tourney victory. UMBC did the thing 8 years ago yesterday against number 1 Virginia. The winner gets number 1 Michigan in the Smith bracket in Buffalo on Thursday. Valentine thought about it, beat together 3 feet below post double. Kick out Armstrong, but Okoji closes out with 9 to shoot. Armstrong has only made 1 3. They've been crowding him. Now 5 to shoot. Pull up for King. Left wing rips the net. Pure as could be for Jalakai King. Give him 15 points. Keeping it close, down 8.
Uh-oh. Jalakai King is starting to heat up.
You mentioned it, no points in the championship game, 0 for 8 against Vermont. He is reasserting himself. About 2.5 in, second half action. Taylor the drive, layup too shy off glass, rebound underneath for Armstrong, and then a foul on Howard will go the other way with a 56-48 contest.
And that last possession by UMBC, they're playing an inside-out brand. They're trying to get the ball down low to Tanchik and Adunowo, and they're kicking it out, which is now making it easier for the guards to be able to operate.
Mentioned Adunowo has 3 for UMBC. Taylor now has 3 for the Howard Bison. Adunowo spin dribble to the right wing straddle. There's the cut for Armstrong. Soars, hangs, missed the banker. Hit glass, then sidearm left. Okoje grabs. 5 on 4 the other way. Gillis too tight with Taylor. Separates, drives, plays it up and in. He put it back into the chest of Tangent. Was able to finish and make it 58-48 Howard.
Howard's so good at being able to turn your missed shots into layups on the opposite side.
Second fast break bucket of the game for Howard. 16:50 remaining in Dayton. Tangent goes against Taylor. 3 fouls. Tangent forced his way inside. Trickles off right iron after hitting left. Another board for Harris. Here comes Bouncing one more time. Layup goes on the left side. Gillis had it knocked out of bounds. Give the block to Jalakai King. His second block this evening. Halt the clock at 16:39. Under out of bounds coming up.
And that's just great one-on-one defense right there by King. When you talk about what he's doing on the offensive side, well, right there, only at 5'11", was able to go get that block against Gillis.
Cut inside. Cotton was open. The ball was kicked on the mid-post entry near that left lane line. Shot timer stays at 23. 16:39 to play. Howard maintaining a 58-48 lead. Now the inbound. Cotton from 14 baseline rattles out. Rebound King. Nearly stripped away, but got both hands on it. 1-on-4 break. The one is King. Almost turns it over. Throws it up front, and he does. Harris steps in front of Armstrong for the steal. Gillis leads the 3-on-3. Pulls up mid lane. Kick out Harris 3. Ring it up for Bryce Harris. A timeout for Jim Ferry, and it's break time in Dayton with 16:21 left. Our score at UD Arena, it's the biggest margin of the game. Howard 61, UMBC 48. From the Westwood 1 NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time, I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Fans, you can listen to the NCAA Men's Tournament on Alexa. Just ask your device to open Westwood One Sports, and you'll be able to select our March Madness Mix channel, which will take you to the best action at any given moment. That's Open Westwood One Sports to listen on Alexa. We've talked about it all night. Two guys that got hurt the last time these two teams played, November of 2024. UMBC ran away with that when 95-77. Howard trying to do the same. They're up 13 with 16:21 left, 61-48. Those two guys, Okoje and Harris, have combined for 31 points, 14 rebounds. Okoje's made all three of his threes, game high 19. Harris already has his 9th double-double of the season to lead the MEAC, 12 points, 10 boards in 20 minutes.
This is what happens when you allow Howard to dictate the tempo. I think the biggest thing right now for UMBC is you want to make sure your defense gets set. When you allow Howard to get the ball in the open court and off of missed shots, convert them into layups, you want to make sure your defense is set every single time and build a wall on the defensive side.
Now, for all the pressure that Howard has shown on defense, UMBC has only turned it over 3 times. They're hitting 47%, but they cannot keep Howard, 1, from getting into the lane, and 2, from generating extra shots. That's a bad recipe. 7 on the timer. Kings had the hot hand, draws the double. Kick out Armstrong, a rare open look. 2 to shoot. Rattles in a left wing 3, and it felt like they had to have it. It's his second. Back down by 10.
Well, that was a good decision by King. I mean, drives the lane, commits 2, or they commit 2 on the defensive side, and then he's able to get the ball where it needs to go, on time, on target.
15 for King, 12 for Armstrong, the only 2 in double figures, still down by 10. Taylor, key extended for the Bison, will get another media on the next whistle. Harris eyes it, sweeps a triple threat to the glass. What a move, letting Armstrong clear, curls it up and in for 14 points, up by a dozen.
And I don't like UMBC playing this man-to-man defense. They need to go back to the zone.
And there's a foul. Okoje didn't need to commit it in the backcourt. About 85 feet away from the rim. It is his 3rd personal. There's a timeout of the court sponsored by Redfin. Own the dream. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Warner Ladder proudly salutes Naismith Award-winning college coaches and all they do to help their players climb the ladder in life. What does a legendary career in college basketball look like? Just ask Rick Pitino. Over 38 seasons as a Division I head coach, Pitino has amassed more than 900 career wins and made history as the first coach ever to take 6 different schools to the NCAA tournament. Known for his ability to rebuild programs from the ground up, Pitino added another chapter to his storied resume last season. In just his 2nd year at St. John's, he led the Red Storm to a 31-5 record, matching the program's highest win total, while going undefeated at home for the first time since 1932. His legacy is one of transformation and toughness, a coach who builds cultures that endure. Warner Ladder salutes the 2025 Naismith Men's College Coach of the Year, Rick Pitino, and college coaches everywhere. Warner Ladder, official sponsor of the Warner Ladder Naismith Coach of the Year Awards.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Danny Reed and King McClure here at our Grainger courtside seats, UD Arena in Dayton. Keep your team moving forward with Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products, Grainger can help your business get a leg up. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. 15-18 to play in this first four matchup Midwest region. Battle of 16s. It's Howard. They've led all but 81 seconds. Currently a 12-point margin over UMBC, 63-51. Howard has 4 in double figures, 51% from the field, 6 of 12 from 3. They are plus 10 on the glass. UMBC is playing better, but to this point, King, Howard has just been better.
And I'm interested to see what UMBC does out of this timeout. Because on the defensive side, I mean, we keep saying this. UMBC cannot stay in front of Howard at all. The help side defense just isn't good. The one-on-one defense is even worse. UMBC has to go into a zone. The times they've gone into a zone, they've had success. But they have done a really good job of taking care of the basketball amongst this pressure.
Just 5 combined turnovers, period, in this game. UMBC basketball following the 3 from Harris, 63-51 the count. Valentine the blow-by from middle, one-step, two-step lane, about got the friendly bounce off 2 different sides of iron. But as it trickles over baseline, it is a Bison foul on Cotton. His second. Valentine shoots 2.
And that's where Valentine is at his best. I mean, he has been extremely consistent when you look at his production. But he's not a shooter. He's a guy that loves to get downhill, strong, aggressive driver that seeks out the contact and that can play through it.
Free throw number 1 rattles in, 63-52. Second generation NCAA tournament performer is Ace Valentine. His dad with Towson played in this back-to-back years in 90 and 91.
And in the last 3 games, he's averaging 17 points per game. So up to this point, he hasn't really produced early on, and they need him to have a massive performance in the second half along with King. And
missed the second as Taylor clears for the Bison. Valentine scoring for the first time since he made that early 3. And then on the other end, after the foul, Cotton eyes it and makes his first field goal. It's a right wing 3. They're 7 of 13 from distance. This is the biggest lead, 66-52. Howard, 14:40 left.
Cotton is their best shooter. Leads the team in 3-point makes.
Diggs moonwalked into his dribble, fell down as he tried to pass it. He traveled. Was wondering when they were going to call that. But on UMBC's 4th giveaway, it's Bison basketball left to right. Howard has only taken 13 of its shots from deep. Granted, UMBC's only taken 15, but they've taken fewer attempts because Howard is plus 11 on the glass. Look at down low, bad pass. Okoje wanted Harris to cut. He stayed on the free throw line. Give Valentine the steal. That's Howard's 3rd turnover. Transition opportunity, but the Bison back 5 on 5. They lead by 14 with 14 to play in Dayton. Winner gets Michigan in Buffalo on Thursday. King on the inside, bumped after he put the layup to the sky, and he drew the foul. He'll go to the line. Introducing Rumble Shorts. Short vertical videos and a swipeable feed giving you a fast, engaging way to discover content and new creators. Just swipe and watch. Rumble Shorts. Fouls on Harris, his second.
You know, Danny, I'll tell you this right now. Based off what I'm seeing, Howard is a much more connected team than UMBC. I mean, every single time on a free throw, they're getting in a huddle. I mean, UMBC, their body language just isn't there. Howard wants to win this game. The body language is uplifting. They're dapping each other up. From a former player's perspective, Howard is a more connected team than UMBC is.
King hits both free throws. It's back down to a dozen, 66-54. King is starting to feel it more and more. He has 17. Our own King McClure can relate to the name. 6 minutes into the half. Taylor into the weaving action to Gillis right of the logo. Dribbles towards the bracket, turns the corner. King helps pass inside. Instead of that being a takeaway for Armstrong, it is a kick basketball. That was almost consecutive giveaways. It stays on this end. Shot timer at 20.
Well, Gillis saw the backdoor cut. He just delivered it a second too late.
Thought that Armstrong was going to get a little bit of a Kojay's ankle, but he had basketball before the tie-up. Second try on the inbound. Flips it up to the left side wing. He extended for Taylor. Triple threat elbows wide. Now a Kojay as Taylor cuts through to Gillis. He swipes it through, draws the double team. Dribble picked up. Blood in the water for UMBC. Kick out Taylor. Keys three. Too strong. Digs the strong side. Rebound at 13-37. UMBC can get it to single digits with a triple themselves. Think King wanted it. Instead, it circles right baseline. O'Donowo, not much playing time because of the 3 fouls. Loops it up to the left side wing. King, offside arm for space. Fall away 10 is an air ball. Baseline. Diggs keeps it in bounds, but remember, the timer doesn't reset. Only 10 to get it off. Diggs on the inside. Layup off the glass with a left hand. He went to the offhand to finish it. A rare second chance bucket. The lead is 10, 66-56 Howard.
And Diggs was 6th man of the year. I mean, double figures in his last 2 of 3 games. He's been extremely quiet so far, but they need him to be aggressive.
Former 4-star guy has only flashed that enormous potential, but that was a timely offensive rebound and bucket. Howard with possession front court. Mid-post to Kojay goes back down. He's hit 3 threes in 7 out of 10. Dribble picked up, gives it away before the 5, nearly a turnover. Gillis behind the back to save it with 4 with 3. Corner, a Kojay again. Almost had rattled back out. Adonovo the rebound. UMBC has 2 leak outs. Downing looks up ahead. Finds Armstrong, left baseline. Great pass to the corner for Diggs. Separates through 2. Contact, shot goes off the side of glass at 12:33, but the foul was before that. And it's a Kojay with his 3rd. Oh, my mistake. That's 4 on a Koji. And that could alter what Kenny Blakeney does with his all-defensive performer. And as soon as we say that, Bryson springs off the bench to tuck his jersey in. But as we talk, Diggs catches the inbound, fights inside, lays it in over front iron. It's single digits, 66-58. Diggs with the last 4.
I'll tell you one thing, this UMBC team, although Howard is more connected right now, there's no quit in UMBC.
Howard going to try to milk this at least to a meteor, or when they can get a Kojay out. Harris head of the key, 9 to shoot, stop free throw line after the dribble. Taylor pauses, shoots 3, skims front rim. The shot selection is not improving for Howard. Adonowo the rebound. This can get interesting. King spiders the dribble amidst traffic and ends up going out of bounds on this sideline. It goes back to Howard after UMBC's 5th giveaway. There's a break of the action in Dayton with the score. Howard 66, the UMBC Retrievers 58. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty, even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
On the court, every possession counts. In business, it's every lead. But too many businesses are still guessing what's making the phone ring and what's a waste of money. CallRail turns that guesswork into a winning game plan by showing you exactly what marketing drove every call, text, and form fill. CallRail's AI assistant can even answer calls 24/7, book appointments, and keep leads from calling the competition so you never miss your shot. That's why over 225,000 businesses trust CallRail. Stop guessing and start winning. Try it free at callrail.com.
For over 100 years, the NCAA has supported student-athletes competing and going to college. And now, the NCAA and its schools provide healthcare coverage, mental health services, scholarship guarantees, and more. As scholarships have grown, the NCAA is a launching point, a leg up, and a spot to land. See all the ways the NCAA puts student-athletes first at ncaa.org.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program,
You'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
You can stream every Westwood One basketball game for free, sponsored by LinkedIn Ads. Stop wasting ad budget on the wrong audience. LinkedIn Ads put your message in front of the right decision makers. Spend $250, get $250. Go to linkedin.com/college basketball. Terms apply. For a live stream, go to westwood1sports.com or download the West One Sports app today. Much of this game, it's been Howard playing the last couple of minutes. It's been Howard thinking. That 14-point lead has shrunk to 8. It's still 66-58 with 11:56 left. King McClure, if you're Howard, how do you get back to playing instead of thinking?
Well, what we've seen in this last few minutes, we've seen UMBC be able to dictate the tempo. When you force Howard to play in the half court and not be able to push it in transition and take your misses and convert them into layups, that's what happens, Danny. Howard now has to think, and they don't have the level of shooters. They don't have as many shooters as you would like. And when you make them play in the half court, it's a completely different ball game. So if you're Howard, you have to go back to what got you success. That's getting the ball out as quick as possible and trying to get layups.
UMBC, for whatever reason, is going back to their man-to-man defense. They had a chance to make it 2 possessions, but it's Bison ball. Taylor travels. He was trying to say that he got knocked in the chin, but the feet shuffled before that happened. For two teams that weren't turning it over at all, that's 4 turnovers combined the last 2 minutes plus. And Taylor looked over here as we spoke about that. I don't know if he heard us or not. There are about 13,000 people in this arena. 11:38 and running. It's UMBC down by 8. Their basketball right to left front court with Jalakai King, who has 17. And there's another giveaway as the ball was on the floor. There's a tie-up, and because the arrow points in this direction, it's back-to-back UMBC giveaways. That's 6 total. As Armstrong comes back in, King will get a breather at 11:31.
And that's just a good defensive play by a guy who leads this team in Gillis in steals. I mean, he gets his hand on the basketball because he realizes King is being a little lackadaisical and is able to get the turnover. 60 steals this year, second most in the MEAC. Corner for Cotton. He's made 1 3, making 2 threes for Alex Cotton, finding the bottom of the nylon. 69-58 Bison. And that's just a great drop right there by Coach Blakeney. The backdoor hammer screen, which gets a wide open 3 in the corner. Howard, number 1 in the MEAC in three-point percentage. They're 8 of 16 tonight. Cougar Downing the drive. He hits again! That's his third 2 after 9 all year. He also gets the +1 with 11:04 left. The foul is on Bryson. It is his third. It's 69-60. Cougar Downing roars his way to the line for 1 more. Oh, I like that drive right there by Cougar Downing. The slow step had 2 defenders around him. It does not matter. Was able to just float it in the air, seek out the contact. And that's just a pretty and 1. Cougar Downing saying he's more than just a shooter. Not the free throw shooter as he goes begging off to the left side as Taylor rebounds. That bring back memories from your days? Little and 1? Little and 1. Playing through the contact. Flex a little bit, show the muscle. 10:52 to go in Dayton. It's a 9-point game, 69-60. Thought Harris was going to pull the trigger. Isolation, one-on-one right. Adonowo guards with 3 fouls. He is one of the best defenders in the America East. Out front, Gillis, I think he walked, penetrates anyway. Stops mid-post. Taylor tries left wing. Line drive 3 is long. Strong side rebound, Valentine. UMBC with Downing. 69-60 with 10.5. Diggs low post ball away and touches nothing but net. 69-62. They're crawling back into it. It's been cut to 7 at UD Arena. Gillis hands off to Taylor, funnels it this way to Brown back in. 6'1 redshirt freshman Isaiah Brown. Sees space with a hezzy. Throws his shoulder at Armstrong. Baseline pass. 3 in the air. 2 shy for Gillis. Downing with contact. Still rebounds next to Cotton. And UMBC can get closer. Downing with eyes up left. Palm on it. Nobody to give it to. So Valentine comes to get it to reignite the offense. Armstrong pops out after the pin down. Exchanges left. Turns down the step back. Left corner Diggs. Too hard of a bump. It's a foul on Cedric Taylor, and for Howard's big man, that is number 4. The UMBC is at their best when Diggs is being aggressive. When you look at Diggs, you look at his size. He's about 6'7", 6'8", can really put the ball on the floor He's athletic. He matches up well with the size and the athleticism of the Howard wings. So when Diggs is being aggressive, he takes this offensive UMBC to a different level.
7 Howard fouls means a 1-and-1 for Caden Diggs. He hits the first. It's been cut to 6. The Men's FIFA World Cup is coming to the United States this summer. Keep up with everything going on with U.S. Soccer's national teams with the official U.S. Soccer podcast presented by Henkel, wherever you get your podcasts. All of a sudden, from 14 down to 6, as Caden Diggs trying to become the third in double figures. 9 going on 10. Not quite. Tanchin nearly had a fingertip rebound. It glances over to Isaiah Brown. Bison ball. 7 points this half for Diggs. He had the and one that he converted the free throw on, but at 9:40, UMBC still down 69-63. Gillis's probe turns into a pop-out. Harris contested 3. He hits! Tanchin again. That same thing happened in the first half. He didn't close quickly enough, and Harris went hand down, man down. The lead is 9.
And he was 1 for 5 from the three-point line in the championship game to get them here. He's not a shooter. Typically, sometimes we see him fall in love with the 3. Tonight, that's been a good thing for him.
Now with 17, 10, and 4 assists. 10 to shoot the other, and Tanchin to answer with a little baby hook. He shot that from the bottom of his palm, and he still had enough to put it in. 72-65, Howard still by 7.
And he had a few similar plays in the championship game. They threw it down to him, and he has an awkward-looking hook, but it's extremely effective.
6'10", the junior out of Cordoba in Spain. With 8:50 and running around the key, it finds Brown. 5 out. Brown the drive, and then he throws it away to Craigway, who's going to call the next game for the Texas Longhorns against NC State in the 11-11 matchup over the West region. Winner of that game gets A.J. DeBonsa, number 6 BYU, on Thursday.
That's the one thing. If you're a freshman, when you're called in when it's your moment and you're called into the game, you have to take care of the basketball. You can't have careless turnovers like what we just saw.
UMBC weaves down. He wanted that long backdoor for Armstrong, then dribbles. He almost lost it, but Armstrong saves his teammate. Shot clock at 10. Left-handed pitch pass this way. Diggs downhill. Free throw pull-up. He's got it! Diggs backs his jersey number with 11. Don't look now. It's 72-67. A 5-point game with a load of time left in Dayton.
Diggs just does a really good job getting to his spot, getting to that elbow, rising up, and just knocking it down.
9 of his 11 this half for the sophomore transfer out of Old Dominion. We'll get a media on the next shriek of the whistle. Harris on the right pivot foot, squares up right slot. Gillis pops out. Harris wants to do this himself. 8 to shoot. Sways, crosses over, attacks too long. Tap back though. Okoje attacks, but it's a rebound for Tanchin. Okoje with 4 fouls. Lucky he's still in the game. UMBC with Diggs, and he walked and he knew it. Oh, did he know it? There's a break of the action with 7:43 to go. It's Howard 72, UMBC 67. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-566-7079.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-566-7079. That's 800-566-7079.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Jason Horwitz, Nick Bob, back with you in our Westwood One studios here in L.A. We'll get you back to Dayton in just a moment. 72-67, Howard's lead, which once was 14, has been cut to 5. And, Nick, the Retrievers have made 6 straight shots to make it. This all feel very different.
Absolutely. The pendulum of pressure is swinging. Howard has led for this whole game, and that lead is dwindling. Caden Diggs for UMBC, 9 points, 4 for 4 from the floor. All of it in the second half. He's starting to emerge as a viable threat for UMBC. Plus, foul trouble for Okoje and Cedric Taylor. Both those guys have 4 fouls. Going to have to manage that because Howard plays one way, and that's super aggressive. Those guys got to find a way to have their foot on the gas, but also play without fouling.
You said the whole game, 4-2 the last time UMBC had the lead, and they are only down 5 with about 7.5 to go. Hey, a reminder to join us the rest of the tournament, wall-to-wall coverage, not only right here on this channel where you're listening, Westwood One Sports stations, but, of course, we get going on the Westwood One Sports app, the free Varsity Network app, the official March Madness app, all Alexa-enabled devices, WestwoodOneSports.com. So anywhere you want to listen, noon Eastern when games get going, Nick and I tip things off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with the tournament today, 11 a.m. Eastern. Back to Dayton, Danny Reed, King McClure.
Guys, since that 14-point margin with just under 15 minutes left, it's a 15-6 UMBC spurt. They said 6 straight made field goals. Diggs has 4 of those for those 9 second-half points. That's why it's a 5-point contest. Bison basketball, though, after a Diggs turnover. Okoje, Euro, he's got his 4th and one tonight. A left-handed hook as they do push-ups at the end of the bench. Okoje's got 21. Right back to the line at 7:36. It's 74-67.
And I love that play. We've seen it time and time again. They set that up screen on the wing to allow the ball handler to get downhill because it's an awkward angle to really play if you're the defense on the ball screen coverage. And I like the intention right there, getting Okoje downhill. That's what he does best.
Third 20-point game of the year for Okoje, 21 total. O'Donoghue back in for Diggs. His free throw and 1. Circles and falls off. Give the rebound to Armstrong, his 6th, to lead all UMBC board clears. Tangent left alone for 3. Set shot triple too short. Harris blocks off his 12th rebound. Bison ball up 7. 7:20 still to play at UD Arena. The winner gets number 1 Michigan in the Midwest bracket in Buffalo on Thursday at 7:10 Eastern. Taylor bumps inside, feet too wide. Baseline bounce for Harris, turns and faces, kick out. Taylor 3, guides it but too short. Nobody grabs it until it bounces to Cotton. Reset to 20. For Howard, that's their 11th offensive board. Taylor gets closer. Oh, he walked, they missed it. Ball doesn't lie, though. Pass right to Tangent. Turnover number 6 for the Bison. Transition to O'Donoghue as Okoje shows out to him. Back to Valentine at center with 6:47 to play. UMBC is down 7. They cut that 14-point deficit in half, having hit 6 of their last 7 shots. Tangent plays dribble handoff game with Valentine. Floats at low post left for O'Donoghue. 7 on the timer. Backs down to Okoje. 4 fouls. Double team. Wing 3 King. Long with 3 to shoot. O'Donoghue, strong sideboard. Saves it back in, but it's right to Harris. Turnover number 8. Here comes Okoje. Plays off 2 lanes. Blast way too strong. King the rebound. Now UMBC has a 3-on-2. O'Donoghue right wing. Cuts for the 45. Stumbles inside. Offensive foul. Gillis slides in and takes the charge on O'Donoghue.
That's just a great one-on-one defensive play right there by Gillis.
And that is his 4th personal foul with still 6:15 left. Diggs gets a respite, it turns out to be. He's back in, though, for Tangent. As the all-defensive team member in the AAC, O'Donoghue stays on. 74-67, the potential layup would have gotten it back down to 5, but instead, UMBC with its 6th turnover this half and 9th overall. 74-67 coming up on 6. That's a bad foul by Jalakai King on Gillis's back like a backpack. King with his first, just the 4th foul on UMBC this half. Baseline out of bounds. Correction, that was above the diagonal, so this will actually be a side out of bounds. If it would have been a foot deeper, he'd have been sending in from in front of the Bison cheerleaders. Okoje, ball in left hand, secures it with the right, into Gillis, dribble handoff right back to Okoje. Howard shooting just 39% this half, but they lead by 7. Low post entry is a bad idea. Diggs takes the vacant basketball, beating Okoje to the spot, as that 11 is better than that 11. Valentine leads right to left for the Retrievers. Diggs been hot this half, 9 of his 11. One-on-one with Taylor. Makes him fall. Pull-up 12. Too short. Adonowo lost a chance of the rebound. Gillis Johnny on the spot. 4-on-4 the other way. Gillis trying the pivot foot. Left wing Taylor. Measures 3. He's got it. 77-67. Taylor with a hammer of a 3 from the far wing. 10 threes in the game for Howard. For Taylor, that's his first. He's got 14. Valentine squeaks into the stop, draws a triple, fires one right corner, goes to Diggs. He may have carried the basketball. 10 to shoot ball kept alive. Corner chance again, Valentine after he replaces. Dribbles it off his foot. Cotton on the floor. Secures with 2 hands to Okoje. Transition. Bump once, twice, foul. It's on King. It's his second. And that's the fifth half on UMBC. Just 5:03 to play in UD Arena. 10-point lead for the Bison, 77-67.
We're seeing the defense go up to another level right now, Danny.
And if you're Diggs and you make that kind of spin move on Taylor, you got to reward yourself with the make, but it just didn't fall. As the inbound finds Taylor and an immediate foul with 5:02 left on Diggs. Be a VIP with the NCAA fan experience at the 2026 Men's Basketball Championship Regional Rounds. Score premium March Madness tickets and exclusive hospitality access. A VIP experience for the VIP fan. Visit NCAA.com/VIP as Taylor puts his foot on the line for 2. 7 of 8 tonight. First, Godhand does the job and rips the net at 78-67.
For Taylor, I've been impressed because he's a driver. He's not known as a shooter, and he's had a few open looks and just hasn't gotten one to fall. Then the one that he hits right in front of the bench, it couldn't come in a better moment. That's why you just stick with it.
2 of 2 at the line. It's a dozen, 79-67. We've got 5 minutes left in Dayton. Taylor is 9 of 10. He has only made 3 shots from the field, but that 3 from the far wing is looming large. In a game they lead by 12. Diggs can't assert the offense. Circles Valentine. Now Armstrong catch and shoot 3. It's a brick. It almost fell in. Rebound. Up for grabs. Cotton again on the floor. Takes it back. Broken floor for the Bison. It's a 2-on-1. Gillis the lob. Okoje can't dunk it. It slid down his hand. It went off the fleshy part as Adonowo grabs it, and UMBC can take advantage, but the Bison get back 5-on-5. Here comes Valentine. Blow by layup. Exchanges left. It's too long at 4:25. And a foul underneath. All tournament long Westwood 1 of the Varsity Network app bring you the action all the way to Indianapolis. For your team's call, stream it exclusively on the Varsity Network app for free. Download today. Foul number 3 on Bryce Harris as Valentine hits 2.
And I think the key thing for UMBC is you want to go into this next media with a single-digit deficit and try to get this thing from 11 to about 9 going into this next media, because then it becomes a 3-possession game with under 4 minutes to go. And it's a completely different ball game from a mentality perspective.
Valentine goes 2 of 2. You got to get your free throws because they haven't made a bucket in 4 minutes now. But it's a 10-point game. Howard has scored 7 straight before that. Their 4th mini run of the game. They had a 13-point spurt in the first half. In a game, they lead 79-69 at 4:12. Gillis avoids Armstrong jabbing in the gap. Backs down. Here's the cut. Taylor on the inside. Clean strip. It's a steal for Adonowo. They've got a 5-on-4. Armstrong spots up. Steps back deep for 3. Too short. Diggs a great rebound amidst traffic. 3 surround him. Pass up front deflected. Valentine steps back. His 3 goes with 3:52.
That's a big-time shot. We talked about how in the last 3 games, he's averaging 17 points per game. Not known as a shooter, but playing with a different level of confidence right now.
79-72, Bison by 7. Their basketball front court. Foul line extended right, Okoje. Harris playing point forward, can't pass. Old Cotton came free, but he didn't see him until the defense collapsed. Shot timer down to 5, a break on the next whistle. Gillis, extra step floater with 1 hand, dropped it in from 11 feet, 81-72. Kenny Blakeney is awarded the timeout with 3:19 left, which we will take as well with the score at UD Arena. Howard, 81, UMBC, 72. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood 1 NCAA Radio Network.
Bottles are filling and payrolls next. Whoa, what the?
I'm you with more gusto.
What's with the leather jacket? It's kind of my new vibe. Which, by the way, switch to Gusto for payroll. Switch? Oh, that's always such a headache. With Gusto, it's effortless. Kind of like looking cool in this jacket. Payroll, benefits, even 401k. Simple. Can I try it on? Gusto? Sure. The jacket? No. Switch to effortless payroll. Choose a future with Gusto.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, save more on what goes into the job. Add power to your lineup with a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, and more. Get the job done right. Keep more in your pocket. That's Pro Savings Days. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last.
The way we watch video is changing. Shorter, faster, always moving. Introducing Rumble Shorts. Rumble's home for short-form video. A swipeable feed of short vertical videos designed to keep discovery moving. Watch, swipe, discover new creators. Follow the voices you care about. Support them directly with tips through Rumble Wallet. Short-form video the way audiences expect it, while staying true to Rumble's vision of free speech. Rumble Shorts. Discover more. Support creators. Keep the conversation open.
Class, today we're talking March Madness. Open your textbooks. Join thousands of other screaming fans for an in-person experience you have to see to believe. NCAA March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your men's basketball seats today at ncaa.com/MBB tickets.
Professor, this year my bracket is going to be perfect.
Right.
This broadcast of the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA at Westwood One is strictly prohibited. Doesn't feel like a 9-point game. Howard still leads 81-72. UMBC hitting 52% this half. What they didn't do to all in the first half, creating some second chances. That's how good Caden Diggs has been. But the timely Howard threes, 6 of 12 this half, 10 of 21 for the game. Okoje understandably has cooled off, though he still leads all scorers with 21. But it does feel like Howard is more holding off UMBC than maybe necessarily not winning this game yet. They're ahead, but they need to win this game to win it, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Thank you. Sometimes you get tied up in your own thigh. You just got to untie that knot. Here we go. 3:15 to go. It's UMBC basketball with Jalakai King. He's one of 4 retrievers in double figures with 17. Dribble handoff for Armstrong as the defense chance pick up for the Bison. Trying to win their first ever NCAA tourney game. They were here 2 years ago. Nearly rallied from 17 down, but fell to Wagner out of the Northeast Conference. Double team Armstrong. Kick out. Valentine fakes the pass to shoot 3. It's a brick. He just got caught off. He wanted a pass. Instead, it was a shot. Rebound. Harris is his 14th for Howard. That would have trimmed it to 6. Let's see if Howard goes into clock milking mode, but maximum shot making mode. Gillis ran it down last time and hit the floater. He's made 4 shots this game. He has 8. He also has 7 assists, a game high. 7 to shoot. Taylor back down against Diggs. 5 to shoot. Scoots through the lane. Missed it well, but there's Okoje. What hasn't he done today? He has 23 on the putback. The lead is 11 for Howard.
Between Okoje and Harris, they have been so dominant in this game.
That's a season high 23 for Osi Okoje. Didn't get a chance to play in that first 4 game 2 years ago because of multiple concussions. Played in only 6 games. Basketball in the hands of Valentine. Hezzy, beautiful move, but he turned down the layup to give Diggs a shot fake instead. Drives, floats, lays it in. Timer was down to 3 as he sort of then twisted around Harris. Timeout granted at 1:54 with the score in Dayton. Howard 83, UMBC 74. You're listening to the Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
America, let me be very clear. If your car breaks down and your plan is to hope it won't cost too much, you're cooked. Done. Sayonara. Hope will not pay the bill. Hope ain't going to replace your transmission, and it isn't a defense I've ever heard of. That's why I ride with CarShield, America's most trusted auto protection. We're talking elite-level defense that saves you money when unexpected repairs happen. And you know I love a good defense. Get your free quote at carshield.com. carshield.com.
O.C. Okoje made 3 first-half threes for 16 points. He has 7 of his 23 this half, the last 2 on an offensive putback. And with 1:54 to go, the Bison of Howard University extending the lead over the UMBC Retrievers 83-74. Here's the most impressive part to me. Okoje has played 11 straight minutes with 4 fouls, and he still leads all scores.
And he's done a tremendous job of guarding without fouling. I mean, understanding that when teams try to drive him, I might have to give up this 2 points, or I know I can't be as aggressive on the defensive side. Really smart, high-level player right there.
Cotton to Taylor for the Howard Bison. 5-man pops out to play ball handler. Harris looks to do the same in triple threat now. It turns into more of a stand-up position with elbows wide. Gives it back to point guard Gillis. Just 5 to shoot for Howard. Under 90 seconds left, up 9. Gillis fakes the handoff with 1. Has to let it fly from 20. It does hit iron. And instead of Okoje rebounding, it's a DOMO up ahead right sideline at a diagonal to Armstrong. Goes into the Hezzy. Attacks. Straddles the left lane line. Can't put up a shuttle. He got poked in the eye at 1:13. There's a foul, and you wonder if it's going to be just a foul. They got Harris. That's his 4th with still 73 ticks left. And they will go look at it because we have a finger twirl coming, because Armstrong not only postured that he got poked in the eye, the video shows he got poked in the eye. If it's anything excessive, severe, potentially flagrant, that's where you get your upgrade for a UMBC team that badly needs points.
No, I don't think this was anything excessive, or it should even be close to being deemed a flagrant one. Now, I will say, if the referees call this a flagrant one, that's 2.
The previous play is under review for a possible flagrant one.
That would be 2 free throws and the ball back. So it could completely change the whole trajectory of this ball game. But I think based off what we saw, I mean, Harris accidentally gets his hand into the eye of Armstrong. But I don't think that's anything flagrant.
I don't either, but I'm not the one looking at the video. Our 3 officials moving away from the scores table, now in their triangle of a huddle. As the Howard fans know what they want this to be called. They would rather this stay a 1-and-1 for Armstrong, who, keep in mind, is a fabulous free throw shooter, 93% for the year.
The previous common foul stands. UMBC will shoot 1-and-1.
That was to be expected. Now, granted, it would have made for some great theater had they upgraded it for 2 shots and the basketball in what is still a 3-possession game with 1:13 left.
Yeah, that would have been a complete game changer right there, but they got it right. That was just a common foul, nothing egregious.
They also changed the foul from Harris, his 3rd, to Cotton, his 3rd. Could be important. 1-and-1 for Armstrong. Eisen shoots. That'll do. 83-75. Armstrong has missed one of those 6 free throws all year tonight. Had a streak of 22 in a row back in January. He's up to 13. Here's his 2nd. Got them both. 83-76. UMBC with backcourt pressure. Howard has turned it over 8 times, 6 this half. Inbound Gillis throws it up ahead to nobody, but Taylor by himself sprints it down. There's the cut and Cotton. Trap corner, pass quickly. Bounce pass up front from Taylor to Gillis. As Diggs goes 2 hands on Gillis to give up the foul. That is the 7th on UMBC. It's the 3rd on Diggs, and a 1-and-1 for Cam Gillis. He is 77% for the year. He has not been to the line once tonight. Good line, though. 8 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, 1 turnover in 37 minutes. Exhales, looks at it, shoots it. In and out. And a rebound for Valentine. It is going to get interesting inside of a minute if UMBC finds a bucket. 83-76. Diggs the attack. The spin, the fall away. Almost an and one. A foul at 53.4. If it's Taylor, he's gone. It is Taylor, and he is gone.
Cedric Taylor, the 3rd, his 5th. Team 10.
He danced with danger for much of the second half. 16 points and 6 rebounds. He made 9 of his 10 free throws, but he will have to watch the rest of this, however long it chooses to go in Dayton. 2 shots for Caden Diggs.
He's a massive free throws.
He's just 1 of 3 tonight. The first one
Perfect.
All right, now, so he got it to a 2-possession game from a 3-possession game. He makes this free throw, it goes to 5 points, and this might be interesting.
The second, perfect again. 83-78. It's down to 5. More backcourt pressure, 53 4/10. And UMBC doesn't need to foul, but it turns into a push from behind from Valentine against Gillis. Team foul number 8 is another 1-1. Just missed the front end as Valentine is called for his second. I think they could have played that out if they wanted to, but in the end, get that clock stopped and see if history repeats itself for Gillis.
Where Gillis caught the ball, he caught it in a very awkward position. They could have tried to get the trap and tried to get a quick 5-second trap. If not, then you foul, but
he shorted it. Another miss on the 1-1. Diggs rebounds again. It's his 7th. 48 now, 47. The game is 5. Armstrong, step back, double step back 3. He's got it. Oh, what a shot. Timeout Retrievers. Still 43 2/10 left. He went James Harden with the double step back. It is 83-81. 9 straight points in the last 71 seconds. And they're going to stretch this to a full timeout.
And this right here, that is why free throws are so important. I mean, Gillis missed the front end of 2 consecutive one-and-ones. And as a result, that turns into 5 points on the opposite side. I mean, if Gillis makes those free throws, it's a completely different ball game. So free throws, that's why coaches stress them. That's why at the end of practice, you have to get up on the line and be able to knock them down when you're tired because of moments like this.
And look, DJ Armstrong had high level of difficulty on a number of those threes he had down the stretch against Vermont in the AEC title. Very reminiscent of that as they clinch their first NCAA tournament berth in 8 years. They've scored 9 straight points. They've cut it to 2. But King McClure, that was UMBC's final timeout.
But the confidence of Armstrong in a moment like that, to be able to knock down that shot, not just knock it down, but to take that shot. I mean, that's extremely risky. No ball movement, didn't get it swung, just one-on-one, mano-y-mano. Let me take you to school and hit you with my James Harden step back. But right here, if I am UMBC, I am going to foul Gillis. I'm going to make sure Gillis touches the basketball because he's missed the front end of the last 2 consecutive one-and-ones. And I know he's in his head right now. In this big of a stage, he is in his head. This has become a mental thing. I'm fouling Gillis.
You could definitely play this out if you wanted to, but so you're saying foul right away or wait till it gets to Gillis?
I try to get a trap.
Okay.
Get a trap, see if you can get a 10-second violation or a steal. But then if it gets to Gillis's hands, I'm fouling him.
Inbounds, goes to Isaiah Brown, and for just the second time all half, they take Gillis off the ball. Gillis wasn't looking for it. He turned around barely as it hit him in the right shoulder. They'll settle down with 32 and running.
Gillis is a little shook right now.
A little bit. He's got to inhale, exhale as he dribbles back and forth between his legs. 10 to shoot, 23 in the game. Bison up 2. They were up 14 with under 15 left. Gillis dribbles right. 5 to shoot. Inside Harris with 2. With 1, he's got to shoot it. He does. He hits with 12 seconds. Cold-blooded. Timeout, Kenny Blakeney. They're going to have to take a look at the clock as Harris barely got the ball out of his hands before the shot clock buzzer expired. Howard's bench poured onto the floor. Jim Ferry wants to know, what are they going to do about it?
They inbounded the basketball. So they threw the ball in, and Armstrong had the ball. So you can't call timeout right there. They shouldn't have been granted that. The ball is already gone. The ball has already left his hands. The ball left Valentine's hands, and you cannot give him that timeout. That's what Danny Ferry is upset about right now.
It ends the 9-0 run and a potential game-saving play for Howard. They're back up 4. Shot clock off for now at 11.3. The time could be adjusted as the timeout awarded to Howard is their third. They just called their full, so they still have their 30 left. They've reset it to 13 seconds.
I called him Danny Ferry. Jim Ferry. My apologies. But Jim Ferry was all the way on the court.
It's a Duke thing because Kenny Blanky played at Duke. That's all it is. You just had Duke on the mind. It's all right.
But Jim Ferry was all the way on the court, and he's frustrated because they should not have been granted that timeout. The ball was already in the air when Coach Blakeney called the timeout, and that's massive because now you don't get a chance. They do get a chance to set their defense when it would have been basically a transition type of situation.
Howard matching up full court. UMBC down 4. They're out of timeouts. King the inbound to Diggs. Back to King. Over half with 9. They got to go quickly. King the explosion to the glass. Lays it up. And the clock actually stopped before the ball went all the way in. So UMBC catches the break. It's 85-83. Whistle in the backcourt. And now a timeout goes to Howard. So that's their last. They could look at that because that ball was still rattling around before it went. That clock was stopped at 7.5. I don't know how much it really saved, but that ball had not gone all the way in before that clock stopped. 85-83, though. And now Howard will have to get her back in bounds. Both teams are out of timeouts. King with 19.
And this is a situation where you try to go for a steal, but somehow force the ball into Gillis's hands. When we've seen the past few possessions, even the last time they tried to throw the ball to him, he wasn't paying attention. This moment is a massive moment. This is the biggest stage that either program has ever played on. And for a guy like Gillis, you can tell that this moment is getting big. He's starting to tense up a little bit, so I'm going to try to find a way to get the ball in his hands.
The previous play is under review for a timing error.
And they are now finally recognizing what we just talked about because they're showing on the CBS broadcast, or True TV, whatever you want to call it, that clock stopped before that ball finished its path down through the net. So this is going to be somewhere not 7.5.
That's good eyes by you. That's great eyes.
That is the first time anybody has ever said that to me. Kid, you're a good man.
There's no way they can keep it 6 points. Wow, that's a whole second.
All right, they take 0.9 off. It's 85-83. The possession arrow, incidentally, on a jump ball would give it back to UMBC. Both teams are out of timeouts. Both teams are in the bonus. A UMBC foul, though, is a 1-and-1. Harris the inbound to Brown with 5.3. There's the foul. It goes against Armstrong. His third. It's another 1-and-1, though, with 5-3 left. 2-point game in Dayton. In the first of 2 games we've got in this first 4 on a Tuesday in Dayton, Ohio.
And Brown is a guy that has not played a lot of minutes. He has not logged a lot of minutes tonight. So these right here, this is the biggest free throws that Brown has ever taken. Let's see if he's ready, a redshirt freshman, to step up to the plate and knock these down.
He hasn't scored tonight. He has not scored tonight. He's 35 of 45 at the line this year. Front end. Oh, man, is that a biggie. 86-83. The next one's even bigger because it gets into 2 possessions. Dribble, spin, shot. Too short. Rebound, Diggs. No timeouts. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. The lob to Armstrong. Lets it fly for 3. No! It's over! It's over! For the first time ever, the Dream Factory gets it done in the NCAA tournament. Howard defeats UMBC in a thriller, 86-83. They almost didn't even get a shot at it, but somehow Armstrong plucks that out of the air and didn't get that bad of a look from about 35 feet away.
I don't know if you could have got a better look than that. I mean, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good, but I guarantee you Coach Ferry will not be disappointed in the look that Armstrong just took.
I tell you what I think cost him. He had to go left to take the basketball from being a turnover.
Yeah.
His shot faded right because he was directly lined up with the rim. If he catches stationary with that same shot, I think we've got overtime.
Yeah.
That is what affected the shot enough to give Howard its first ever NCAA tournament win in its 5th try. Kenny Blakeney has talked about building men inspired by service and leadership. And for the very first time, the Bison have won a game in March Madness. And the whole team is over here taking part in the TV interview. Really, you could talk to about 16 different guys. Kenny Blakeney is just beaming with Howard.